Diamond, September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldoframesfest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Michigan. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Hello. I got bad news. It's officially time to panic a little bit if you're a Tigers fan. Welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, first of all. Got a loaded show planned up for you today. We've got our NFL spread picks in the 11 o'clock hour, of course, every Thursday. Kyle Sandel behind the glass. John's going to join us for that as well. We're going to get to a Jared Goff discussion a little bit later on. Chris Castellani is going to join us. I think he was at the Tigers game last night. But guys, oh man, another loss for the Detroit Tigers. Back-to-back losses against this Cleveland Guardians team that has just had the Tigers' number this season. Now the Tigers have a losing record against the Guardians, and even so, it just feels like every time they play this team, it's going to come down to the ninth inning. It's going to come down to one team that ends up getting a clutch hit. Game's going to be close. I mean, I know yesterday ends up being a pretty big loss, but man, it was close right and down until the very end, and you have this Bo Naylor, a bloop single that ends up scoring a couple runs. Look, the Tigers still have a 95% chance to win the division. But what that number doesn't take into consideration from Fangraphs is this team's just not playing very good baseball right now. They're just not. Last 60 days, under 500. Last 30 days, under 500. Those are numbers I told you yesterday, but they remain true today because, well, they can't pick up a win. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games, and now they have just a 4.5 game lead in the division. With what? It's 10 games to go? 9 games to go. So this is 10 games ago. This is getting kind of scary if you're a Tigers fan. I'm not saying it's over. They're not going to, they're going to blow it, but I am a little bit worried about it because yesterday was the first time I was watching this Detroit Tigers team and thinking to myself, I don't think they're going to win today. It just kind of felt like even with Jack Flaherty having a nice outing, if you'd have told me Flaherty has a good outing, I would say odds are you probably end up picking up a win, but the offense just disappeared yesterday. And it felt like, once the Guardians had that 2-0 lead, sometime in the 6th inning, I just looked at the TV and said, they just don't have it today, which is the complete opposite of the way that this team has been engraved into my head the last calendar year. It always felt like they had a chance to pull something out, even when they've been losing the whole game. They'd walk a batter in the 8th, they'd hit a double, hit by pitch, and all of a sudden 1 hit away, and you tie the game up. But that hasn't been the case here for 2 months. I mean, in the past 60 days, 15th in home runs, 15th in runs, 6th in strikeouts, 15th in OPS, 13th in average, and 22nd in walks. This just hasn't been an above-average baseball team for 2 months now, and I feel like that's a large enough sample size to kind of sit here and say, I just don't have a ton of confidence in the Tigers right now. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm predicting them to blow the division, but I don't feel all that great saying, look, don't worry, 4.5 game lead, 10 to go. I'm still a little bit worried about actually grabbing a hold of this thing, especially because you've got another game against Cleveland today. Thank God Tarek Skubal's on the mound. But even with Casey Mize and Jack Flaherty having good outings, they've lost the first 2 games. Then you're going to have to play Cleveland again next week. And again, they've just had the Tigers' number here. It's not a team you necessarily feel comfortable against. So let's say the Tigers get through Atlanta, even if they take 2 of 3, Cleveland's going to have a chance, if they can take care of business against Minnesota, Cleveland's going to have a chance to get themselves right back into this thing, and then it's probably going to come down to that last series of the year. The Tigers are going to be facing Boston, and the Guardians are going to be facing the Texas Rangers. And you're just kind of going to have to sit there and cross your fingers because odds are Boston and Texas are both playing for something down the stretch. It's become not infuriating. I'm not angry with this Tigers team, but it's disappointing because you hear A.J. Hinch after the game, you hear Riley Green after the game saying, we don't feel any sort of pressure. We're just playing baseball at the end of the day. How can you not feel a little bit of pressure, though? You guys do realize you had a double-digit lead in this division nearly the entire season. You are in first place in this division for the better part of the last 4 months. Yet somehow, as we're getting down to the last stretch of the season, with 2 weeks left, there's a real threat named the Cleveland Guardians that are knocking on the door attempting to steal your lunch money. If the Tigers were to blow this division, not only would I have zero confidence going into a playoff series as a wild card team, but it'd be one of the worst blown division leads in Major League Baseball history. To hold the division for that long and blow it to this Cleveland team, who you just can't beat despite them being ranked 29th in OPS across the league, that would be devastating not only for the Detroit Tigers, but for the fans as well. And we can sit here and blame Scott Harris for not going after guys at the deadline. The problem hasn't even been pitching as of late. It's just been the offense. I mean, I just ripped through all those numbers. They're an average offense. And honestly, Kyle, I can't help but to think what would be helpful? I really don't even want to say it.
Oh, we're not doing this, right?
I'll hold off. I don't want to say it.
Yeah.
But I did think it last night, so I am going to say it. Alex Bregman would be pretty helpful right here. I'm just saying, he would be. to have a guy with the 272 OPS. It stabilized the lineup because right now they're very average.
Yeah, last night was a bit of a chess match between Stephen Vogt and A.J. Hinch, and that's kind of been the story between these two managers every time they face off. The lack of urgency is the part that I think is the most alarming. I don't know if alarming is the word, just concerning from a Tigers fan perspective, because obviously, you don't want A.J. Hinch to go to the post-game presser and be like, we are so scared of the Guardians. Like, we are terrified that we're going to blow this lead. Like, obviously, you don't want him to say that, and he's never going to say that. Mm-hmm. But I would like a little bit of – it'd be different if you weren't playing Cleveland. If they were just playing hot baseball and the Tigers were still doing their thing, playing other teams, like, yeah, I understand the perspective of we're not worried about what Cleveland is doing. We got to worry about us. I totally get that. You're literally playing the team, though, that is sneaking up on you. And
the team that's won 11 of their last 12 games.
Right. And losing to that team as well. And it's also the team that kicked you out of the playoffs last year. Like, the fact that there isn't really a little bit of edge being shown by this group, that this should be their clear rival. And then when you look on the flip side for Cleveland, their ace in Gavin Williams was supposed to go today against Tarek Skubal. They move him up a day in the rotation to pitch him against Jack Flaherty, because why would you want to take advantage of, you want to keep this win streak going. It was a brilliant move from the Guardians to move Gavin Williams up. And now, in a start against Tarek Skubal, where most teams are going to just chalk that up as a loss, if you're the Guardians, you can afford to do that because you've won 11 of 12 and you've already taken this series. So there's a clear urgency coming from Cleveland, which makes sense because they're currently outside of the playoffs. So obviously they're not desperate, but they're going to do more willingly things to get wins than the Tigers are. But Detroit right now is just on cruise control when they really shouldn't be.
No, this is the time of the season you should be kicking things into high gear, playing your best baseball. A.J. Hinch should be managing this series and the next few like it is a postseason, just to kind of get accoladed to how they're going to be playing. You don't want to have games where you get shut out when there is some, pressure on this team. Although, again, A.J. Hinch says there's zero pressure on them, which I just think is a little bit absurd. It'd be one thing, for you to say, we don't feel any pressure, but we got to kick things up in a high gear. He's just flat out saying we don't feel any pressure on ourselves whatsoever. It's like, you can acknowledge that we need to play better. You can acknowledge that, hey man, we're not playing our best baseball right now. We got to kick ourselves in the butt a little bit and make sure that we're ready to go come October, because that's right around the corner and you still have not locked up this division yet. It feels like, cruise control is the best way to put it. They got comfortable at the top, and for 60 days they've been a 500 baseball club.
Yeah, they're on cruise control in the middle of the city right now, when you clearly are going to have to stop and turn it off a few different times. And they think they're on the freeway. And clearly that's not the case currently. They were a while back, but Cleveland's playing so well that it makes you nervous, especially when you have to play them 3 more times at their place next. There's no reason why any Tigers fan at this point shouldn't be nervous. I still think that it's fine to be willing to think they're going to win the division because, like you said, 95% chance?
Yeah, the math says it's the Tigers, but
it's still 4.5
Tigers
games
aren't
at the end of the day.
They're not playing very good right now.
Right.
Cleveland's the hottest team in baseball.
Yeah.
So that's the part that concerns me. To say that you're not concerned at all, I almost think is crazy. At this point, I don't know who's confident in the Tigers right now. That's the scariest part. I don't know how you can make an argument that you're confident in the Tigers other than, hey, Tarek Skubal's on the mound tonight. He's been a Guardians killer for a couple of years, specifically this season. So let's just go pick up a win, get it back to 5.5, and you should feel okay, throughout the weekend, unless you lose another series. But they've lost 5 of their last 6 games. This hasn't been a great team.
And this isn't really the typical Tarek Skubal start, get us out of a jam, let's get things back on track with Skubal today.
No, for the first time, we need Tarek Skubal.
And he's coming off of a start where he left the game due to injury. So it's the added pressure plus that, where it's something that hasn't happened all year. I don't really love the spot for Skubal today, if I'm being honest.
I think Tarek Skubal comes out angry.
I
you know
hope
how
so.
We see the one bad call or he walks someone and he just starts getting real upset with everybody. I think he walks out onto the mound like that tonight, just angry that he only got 45 pitches in his last outing, angry that he gave up 4 pitches in his last outing, angry that he's looking around watching this Tigers team fall apart and that they haven't been able to pick up a win against his least favorite team, angry that Cleveland's creeping up on them in the playoffs. I think he comes out and is just guns a-blazing, try to hit my best stuff right away with this Guardians team. And he's going to make them look like a below-average offense because that's what they have been all season long.
Yeah.
You know they have two people in their lineup. Two people in their lineup in Ramirez and Quan who are hitting above 240. Everyone else is sub 240. It's not a great team, but they're figuring out ways to get wins. It's very, very reminiscent of last year's Tigers team. They don't have a lot of stars. I mean, Quan and Ramirez are stars, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but
they're
outside of that,
stars, yeah.
they don't have a lot of guys. They're just figuring it out. They're piecing it together. Bo Naylor with a bloop single to kind of ice the game yesterday. Like, it's that kind of stuff that the Guardians are finding ways to win games. Very reminiscent of the 2024 Tigers. 989-837-6125. Where's your worry scale with this Detroit Tigers team? Let us know in the YouTube. You guys can give us a Mitt message as well. 989-837-6125. Speaking of YouTube, 16 subscribers away from 450. That was our goal by the end of the week. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that notification button. Get alerted every time we go live at 9 a.m. every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday here on the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt. As always, 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Iron Stack Technologies. Strong businesses need strong tech, and that's where Iron Stack Tech comes in. Locally owned in Midland, your IT experts that are rock solid, from cybersecurity to cloud services and everything in between. Think of them as like an invisible backbone for your business. No capes, just smarter solutions. Whether you're a small shop or a growing company, Iron Stack makes sure your tech doesn't crumble under pressure. Iron Stack Technology, strong, steady, and built to keep you moving forward. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live right here on 100.9 The Mitt. How you feeling about this Tigers team with about 2 weeks to go? Get to your Mitt messages next here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
The doctors at Midland Eye Care want you to know a comprehensive eye exam is the only way to protect and detect vision-related disease. It goes beyond improved vision from glasses or contact lenses. Many common eye diseases such as glaucoma, diabetic eye disease, and age-related macular degeneration often have no warning signs. A dilated eye exam is the only way to detect these diseases in their early stages. This message brought to you by Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and now on East Washington in Freeland.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text CLEAN CAR to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
When you want NFL football on the radio,
And it's another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
you know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
Tonight sees an AFC East clash in Orchard Park. The Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Coverage at 7:30 presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at Interscholastic Athletic Events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
We asked the people, are you losing faith in this Detroit Tigers team? Let's see what people are saying on the Mitt messages. One more time, that's 989-837-6125. Tyler says, nope, not losing faith. This fan base is pathetic. I don't know if I can get behind that. I think there's every reason to be losing faith in this Tigers team. I don't know how you can be confident in them. They haven't been playing good baseball for over 2 months.
Sure, but I mean, I get the perspective of, like, they're still going to make the playoffs. So it's just, what do you prioritize? If the division title is not as important to you as it is just success in the playoffs, it's not like this team is not going to make the playoffs, you know? It's back-to-back seasons of going to the playoffs in a team that, or a league that is really difficult to make the playoffs in. We haven't saw it for a decade, basically, and now they go back-to-back years. Like, I do kind of think that the fan base as a whole, and I fall victim to this. What's that face for?
I'm just curious as to what you're going to say.
I just think the fan base as a whole sometimes fails to look at the grand scheme of things, and we really zoom in on the last 2 games, you know, rather than just looking at the entire league and fandom as a whole. Like, I don't know. It could have been worse. We could have been this team 3 years ago, you know? Like, so I kind of get the whole fan base part from this texter.
No, I really want a division title, and it feels like that's slipping out of the Tigers' hands. So that's why I'm frustrated.
It's fair.
Freddie says, nope, only real baseball people know that the Tigers would drop out of it because you don't win games hoping someone hits a homer and never burnt any more over to score them. That one doesn't make any sense. Todd says, right now the Detroit Tigers aren't playing with any sense of urgency at all. And honestly, I don't think they want to be the number 2 seed either. So if Skubal is pitching tomorrow afternoon's game, well, I think he meant today's. He needs to shut down this Guardians team. Yeah. I have a lot of confidence that Skubal's going to, make us feel a lot better today. I really do. I think he comes out there and looks like a Cy Young winner today. But the sense of urgency thing, I think that's a great way to put it. Do you know the play I'm talking about? Late in the game, the bases were loaded, and Torkelson gets a kind of a ball hit to him, ground ball, picks it up, and, double pumps to throw home to avoid the the force tag.
I mean, he would have. I can't remember who the pitcher on the mound was. That's why he would have smoked the pitcher with the throw because he was going to cover the bag at first.
Either way, someone there wasn't urgency. It wasn't very well executed. Luckily, they still got the out, but man, they were inches, milliseconds away from giving up another run there, and that would have been one of those ones where it's like, what are you guys doing? Because that would have been back-to-back days where Torkelson just made
that clearly was not Torkelson's
play.
fault. You know, that was just obviously not Torkelson's fault.
Okay, then it's the pitcher's fault. So get out of the way. There's a lack of urgency with this Tigers team right now, it feels like. No,
you're right. There definitely is. Yeah, and to this texter's point, whether or not we think they're going to blow the division or not, something that is much more in grasp is them losing their first-round bye. Which they are only a game up right now on Houston, who has retaken over the American League West division. So that is, and here's a worst-case scenario. Tigers do get the 3 seed. Cleveland stays hot.
Play the Guardians.
And a first-round wild-card matchup, 3-game series, Tigers versus Guardians.
I would throw up. I would. I can't stand this Cleveland team so much because they're so similar to the Tigers team. But then Ramirez is by far the best hitter between the 2 teams.
Quan is a Tigers killer.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. The way that guy plays in the outfield, it's like nothing gets down out there. It's so infuriating because you think you have a hit. You think, that's going to hit the gap, and somehow he finds a way underneath it.
I mean, Quan is awesome. I know all the Tigers fans hate him, and it's easy to hate him just because of how good he is against the Tigers. But, I mean, he is just awesome.
And then Ramirez, getting that, anytime they get Ramirez out, and he doesn't reach base, it feels like an achievement of its own. Feels like we need to hang a banner every time we get this guy out. He's ridiculous.
He really is. The good news is the Red Sox still are up 2.5 on Cleveland for that final wild card spot because they're playing good as well. But it could be like a flip side kind of thing. Since the Tigers play the Red Sox at the end of the year, you could almost get Cleveland into the playoffs by beating up on Boston. So, yeah, it's like, what do you want to do there?
But you have to just
let's worry about these
keep
games
winning.
Yes.
Because now it seems like there's not going to be a lot of scenarios where the Tigers are playing Boston the last series of the year and they haven't already, or they have already locked up the 2 seed.
Both teams will be playing for something come that final series, it most likely.
Aaron says 32 and 36 since July 1st. Riley, Torque, McKinstry, and Javi all overachieved in the same at the same time early on. The water found its level. I don't think Riley or Torque overachieved, but you can make the argument McKinstry and Javi have. Javi's plummeted back to earth, and now is just a black hole in the lineup once again.
Yeah, I mean that is something that I think we expected to happen at some point, right? With the Javi Baez just falling off at some point. But I had his game log pulled up, and I was going to do a last X amount of days thing for him.
It's gross.
I need to
it's
pull
bad.
It back up. Yeah, it's.
I don't think Riley's overachieved. He's still an 821 OPS. Torkelson 29 bombs on the season. Yeah, they started out real hot, specifically Torkelson, but he's been consistent all season long.
I mean, since July 1st, which is nearly 50 games now for Javi Baez, a 208 batting average with a 514 OPS. And you can shrink this to make it much worse as well. Really bad for Javi Baez, obviously.
This one's good. Freddie says, I played pro baseball, and I know this. A.J. Hinch knows nothing about the game of baseball, but how to cheat at anything. And the Tigers have run out of luck. ... And I'm a Tiger supporter. No, it doesn't really sound like it. I'm a Tiger supporter too. I'm nervous, but come on, AJ Hinch doesn't know anything about baseball. That's an original take, to say the least.
We don't really get the AJ Hinch is a cheater text very often. That's kind of refreshing, honestly. By the way, to the McKinstry thing, McKinstry 0 for his last 13 at bat. Yeah.
Parker got caught stealing yesterday too. It's just all the utility guys that that are supposed to do the small things like steal bases, get from first to third, the little stuff.
Right.
They're just not doing it right now. It once again feels like it's hey, Riley and Torque, we need you more than ever. Bail us out of these opportunities. Glaber's been good too. But, yeah, the role guys have shrunken here in the last month of the season.
I will say I'm seeing a couple people in the YouTube chat suggesting that the Tigers will miss the playoffs entirely.
Oh, man.
That would be nearly impossible for them to do.
They'd have to lose every game.
Yeah, Cleveland would have to Cleveland would have to pass them in the division, so obviously the Tigers would be a wild card team. And then they would have to basically have all of Boston, Seattle, New York pass them in wins, which they have 3+ wins over those teams. So it would really have to be
that'd be an all-time sports collapse.
they can clinch the playoffs in the next few games just because of the amount of wins that they have. So that I don't think that is something that the Tigers fans should be concerned about. The division and bye and stuff, that's a different story.
Thank God they started the season so hot because they have been average for a few months here across Major League Baseball. Hey, the Ben Bosscher Show is always brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair. The experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you got a leaky roof, there's storm damage, the siding's looking a little tired, Bresky has you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come. We'll hit the news when we come back. Ben Bosscher Show right here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At IronStack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. IronStack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofFramesFest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
Into the end zone.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports.
The Spartans playing late night on Saturday out at the LA Coliseum facing the Trojans of Southern Cal. MSU, USC, kickoff at 11 p.m. Presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it.
100.9 The Mitt.
Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Michigan. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Let's get a couple more Mitt messages in, and then we'll hit the news. The wheels are falling off, not the direction you want to be in heading to October. Unless this makeshift bullpen can get it right the next 2 weeks, this season is going to be over rather quickly. It's not even the bullpen right now that's an issue. As much as we've complained about it, that's not the issue. It's that they're an average offense, and the offense is... I mean, they got shut out yesterday in what was somewhat of a must-win game. Like, isn't that a bigger issue right now than the bullpen, Kyle?
Probably, yeah, I would say so. And I think that they've kind of lost their clutch factor a little bit. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that because Kerry Carpenter does hit that home run in Game 1. But I don't know. I just feel like this was a team that escaped a lot of the one-run games. You go into a series with Cleveland that I saw a stat on the screen yesterday that 70% of the innings played between these two teams this year have been one run or no runs separated on the scoreboard, which is crazy. Like, they just play so tight. So you go into a series against a team like that you play so close with, and it really hasn't been owned by you at all as far as being in the lead most of the game. So, yeah, I think that it is probably more of an offensive thing right now to be concerned about. It's hilarious to think about how we were talking going into the series on Tuesday of like, hey, you sweep this team and you clinch the division, and next thing you know, you can actually cruise the rest of the way in the regular season. And now we're just like completely 180 freaking out, you know?
I think the freak out is worthy, though.
No, it is. It definitely is. It's weird to think about how much different things could be if they just, come up clutch in the 10th inning on Tuesday night, and then the offense comes alive a little bit earlier last night. Because as good as Gavin Williams was yesterday, he only goes 5. Like, they ran up his pitch count.
Mm-hmm.
He got to trip. Like, you should have been
Flaherty
able.
was good.
Flaherty was good. Gave up 1 run. It was 1-0 after 5 innings when their pitcher was nails, and you couldn't get to any of their relievers after they pitched a ton of guys that pitched on Tuesday. So that was frustrating.
Yeah. Skubal hopefully can correct things at 1 o'clock today, make us feel a little bit better. Again, the math says 95% chance to win the division. That doesn't take into consideration the Tigers are playing poorly, all the head-to-heads with Cleveland. That's just simply, here's what the spreadsheet says, 50% chance on every win or loss game. I would say, I think it's more like 65%.
Ooh, that might be low.
70%?
Well, just because the only reason why I think that is
67%?
I think that's it. No, just because it's 4.5 games and there's 10 games to go. So it's like you still have to, and 4 of those games obviously are against Cleveland, so that comes into play. But it would still take the Tigers going 3-7 essentially, and Cleveland going 7-3 to win it.
They're not playing very good though. Okay, fine.
Aware.
Like 74% chance to win the division, I think is what is when I get to come in and make an adjustment to it. I don't know. That's the Ben percentage. All right, let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, let's take a little bit of a breather from the Tigers. We're getting a little bit worked up here this morning. You know, where a place we can go and get worked down. Let's take a look.
Excuse me?
I'm just, relax a little bit is kind of where I was going. The community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Over in Frankenmuth today in the Great Lakes Bay region, Oktoberfest is getting kicked off today. It's Thursday through Saturday. Located in the Heritage Park over in Frankenmuth. 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. today is where that gets kicked off at.
Lovely.
So that should be fun. Go and check that out. All right. As mentioned, Tarek Skubal versus Tanner Bybee today at 1:10. Gotta love the afternoon games. Tigers have the series coming up with Atlanta, and then Cleveland goes and plays Minnesota after this. So we'll see how both of those go. Kicking it over to some other MLB news. We've been talking about Shohei Ohtani the last couple days. And Dodgers manager Dave Roberts acknowledged after the game yesterday that the organization has considered potentially moving Shohei Ohtani to the bullpen for the playoffs, talking just because they have no good bullpen arms at the moment, and perhaps in a shorter series, giving him bulk innings out of the pen might be more beneficial than having him be a starter.
That'd be so awesome. Just another thing he can put in his resume. Like, guess what else he did?
Got the save to win the World Series.
Be
or something.
incredible.
Yeah. I always thought that, like, long-term wise, especially when Ohtani pitched against Trout to win the World Baseball Classic, like he came in as a closer in that game, I always thought long-term wise that's how Ohtani keeps his longevity. Just continues to hit well and then eventually moves to be a back-end bullpen guy. Like, imagine hitting the whole game and then coming in the bottom of the ninth and being the best closer in the league. Like,
yeah, this must-win game, elimination game for both teams. He's already crushed you, has a home run. It's like, oh, here comes Ohtani out of the dugout.
Yes. But I always did think that, I mean, he's still really good as a starter, but once he gets into his mid-30s, maybe move him to the pen. I think.
How would he warm up in the middle of the game? Like, is it simple, like, hey, go run out there, you have 3 outs?
So it's like anytime the defense is out there, like, he's not playing in the field,
Yeah, but so in between innings, he would just run out to the bullpen instead of the dugout?
Let's say in the 8th inning, like, while the team is on the field and not hitting, he'd just go out to the pen.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be. So we'll see how that goes. Hey, we got some football news. The Washington, D.C. City Council has given its second and final approval for a $3.8 billion project that will move the Washington Commanders back into the D.C. area for a new 65,000-seat stadium right on the location of the former RFK Stadium site where the Commanders/Redskins played from 1961 to 1996. Since 1997, they've been playing outside of D.C. in the Maryland area, but their new owner, Josh Harris, expects to be playing in the new stadium by 2030.
It's a long ways away.
Yeah, but I mean, they're building it. Stadium. They're completely demolishing the old stadium and building a new one. So.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize their old stadium was still standing.
Yeah,
it's just vacant.
It's still there. Yeah. So right in DC.
They need a new stadium. Remember last year? Maybe it was 2 years ago when the railing fell and a bunch of fans fell into the tunnel and almost killed Jalen Hurts.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It was Jalen Hurts, right? I think it was.
I totally
Basically
forgot about that.
Like just about landed on him. It's like what?
Yeah, that's
the stadium's a mess where they play right now.
Yeah, so hopefully it seems like the Washington fans are very excited about this, which is good news for them because they've had obviously terrible ownership the last so long of years. Ben Johnson and Tom Brady. We've been talking a lot about these guys. We have them in the same headline today. Bears Ben Johnson is not worried about the Tom Brady production meeting this weekend. This has been a big topic all week. We've been talking about how Brady's going to expose all the rumors to the Raiders. And so Ben Johnson was asked about it because he's doing the Bears-Cowboys game this weekend. Ben Johnson, quote, says, "It's not like I'm going to sit down with him and say, hey, don't do this to Caleb Williams or you might like it. Like there's not going to be any trade secrets that are going to be exchanged." Brian Schottenheimer was asked the same thing, and he sarcastically was like, "Oh, I'm not even going to talk to him. I don't want him to say anything." So clearly no one actually cares about this because they're not spewing, game plan strategies with the broadcasters.
Well, the game plan for Caleb Williams is just let him sit back there and throw the football. Usually it results well for the other team. So
good one.
I don't know. It freaks me out. It would freak me out if I was a fan of another team, but I guess if the coaches aren't all that worried about it, then I don't know. Here's what I do know. Tom Brady has shown gamesmanship in his career, and if he can use it to his advantage to help the Raiders, he will do it.
True. I would imagine that they're not telling them anything in those meetings that the Raiders coaching staff doesn't kind of already know. That's kind of the way that I view it.
Fair.
But who knows? Okay, we got some Michigan basketball news. Yeah, that's right. We're in basketball season nearly. And Michigan has landed another recruit in the 2026 class, a top 54-star, 6'10" forward, Quinn Costello, commits to Dusty May and the Wolverines over Michigan State, Purdue, and UNC. Dusty May continuing to cook, they say.
He must have some sort of secret potion. It feels like...
Here's the secret potion. The richest guy in the world likes Michigan.
I don't know, but he's been doing that before. Like,
no, you're right.
Well before. Like, last year, the transfer portal stuff was... the last 2 years, the transfer portal stuff has been outrageous. It feels like if he gets in the same room with these recruits, it's over. Like, you already lost your guy.
Remember,
he's coming to Michigan
3 years ago when Michigan was impossible to get any transfers because of their admissions and everything? Like when Terrence Shannon Jr.
Jawan Howard was a moron.
Well, yeah, but like Terrence Shannon, who went to Illinois and became one of the best players in the country, was supposed to come to Michigan the whole time and just couldn't because he couldn't get in because of his grades. And now all of a sudden, Michigan's getting everybody. So it's crazy stuff. All right, Brock Purdy, who was out last week, we thought he was going to be out this week. Kyle Shanahan says yesterday he has a chance to play this week. They're in a big game, 2-0 versus 2-0, Niners versus Cardinals atop the NFC West. So we'll see if Purdy plays this week or if your boy Mac Jones continues to get the start.
I totally thought this was going to be another Mac Jones start, but I don't know. It feels like there's a decent chance that Purdy's going to play, so... I don't know. I don't know if it changes how I feel about this game, though. I kind of feel like San Fran's just going to be able to get it done against Arizona, who beat up on the two worst teams in the NFL the first 2 weeks of the season.
Is it truly better to just play Mac Jones rather than a banged-up Brock Purdy just for this game?
Yeah, let him get healthy.
I don't really know, though, because, if he seems healthy enough to play, then obviously you'd rather start Purdy, but we will see.
What's the injury? Shoulder?
I think so. I really don't even remember, honestly. We'll end the news here with more quarterback injury news. On the flip side, Zach Taylor says he is not ruling out Joe Burrow to return later in the regular season in 2025. Obviously, Burrow's timetable is 3 months, which would take you to the middle of December, which is basically the end of the regular season. There's a couple weeks left in there. So if Jake Browning can hold things afloat, he's not counting out Burrow returning this season, depending on how his recovery goes.
All right.
So we'll see.
Hopefully Joe Burrow can come back. He needs another fourth quarter comeback. Daniel Jones is ahead of him right now.
Oh.
Crazy.
I see.
989-837-6125. Hope everyone's having a good start to their Thursday. We still got our draft, our NFL spread picks coming up a little bit later on in the show. Got Chris Castellani going to join us at 10 o'clock. But Jared Goff tied Megatron. That's right, Calvin Johnson, for this. I'll tell you what it is when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show right here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's a Tri-Valley Conference matchup this Friday. The 3-0 John Glenn Bobcats out of Bay City face the 2-1 Swan Valley Vikings from Saginaw. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Into the end zone.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports.
The Spartans playing late night on Saturday out at the LA Coliseum facing the Trojans of Southern Cal. MSU, USC, kickoff at 11 p.m., presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it. 100.9 The Mitt.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
High school sports don't just happen.
There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Jared Goff kind of joins Lions history this week, just after we ended the show yesterday. I don't know, sometime between 12 and noon. Well, those are the same times, actually. Between noon and 1, we find out that Jared Goff has won NFC Player of the Week for the 4th time as a Detroit Lion. That ties Megatron for the second most in franchise history. Can you believe that, Kyle? This guy that the Lions not even traded for, just kind of got thrown in as an extra piece. Remember, he was basically a cast-off. Nobody wanted Jared Goff, and we don't even need to dive down that rabbit hole again. Like, everybody knows the story behind it. He was basically a throw-in in the trade, and suddenly we're looking at the guy who's now joining Megatron as the guy with the second most NFC Offensive Player of the Weeks ever, after carving up the Bears. 82% completion percentage, 334 yards, 5 tutties, and 156 passer rating. What a game.
I want to say it's surprising, but it's truly not when you just look back at all the humongous games that he's had as a Lion. Like, it's surprising, obviously, if you go back years, because you wouldn't have never expected this, but just from looking at it now, he's had so many big games like this. So shout out to Jared Goff, man. It's a great name to be paired with in Lions history. Kind of weird that Matt Stafford maybe never had as many of these, but the Lions are a much better team when Jared Goff is the quarterback, so that probably plays into it.
Well, Matt Stafford was never on these offenses that were putting up 50 points on another team.
Yeah, could never throw 5 touchdowns, really.
No, because I'm sure he has a 5-touchdown game in there.
Yeah, but
like some of the other stuff I saw about Jared Goff this week is like, here's one. This was the 5th time in Jared Goff's career in which his team scored 50 points. You want to know the only other quarterbacks in NFL, in Super Bowl era history, to have 5 games with 50-plus points?
Tom Brady?
Tom Brady's done it 8 times.
I don't know. Tell me the rest.
I feel like you can get these. There's only two more.
How many is there?
There's 2 more.
Dan Marino?
No.
John Elway?
No.
Peyton Manning?
Yep.
Josh Allen?
No.
Patrick Mahomes?
No.
Is it further back?
Slightly.
Steve Young?
Way too far. Think of quarterbacks.
Joe Montana?
No. Think of guys who played under great coaches and had just like high-level offenses for a couple of years. Played at the same time as Brady and Manning. Same era.
Oh, Ben Roethlisberger.
No.
Oh, I thought that was going to be it. Drew Brees.
There it is. Tom Brady's done it 8 times. Drew Brees has done it 6 times. Peyton Manning's done it 5 times. Jared Goff's done it 5 times.
That's crazy.
Those are the only quarterbacks in Super Bowl era history to have 5 games of 50-plus points.
That's a wild group to be in, honestly.
And he's done it with 2 different teams. That's the crazy part behind it. I can't believe how quickly the Rams gave up on this guy. It was like, it's like they were losing, and Sean McVay had a big ego at the time because he was a young head coach. Like, I really like Sean McVay. But I think, he even has admitted, like, we've made some mistakes along the way. I didn't like how it handled it. And it felt like it couldn't have been his fault, so he got rid of Jared Goff for a better quarterback. And now Jared Goff has become, I think it's pretty safe to say that the best quarterback in franchise history, based on the success he's had, the 2 division titles, the multiple playoff wins, all these numbers where he's getting thrown into conversations with Drew Brees and Peyton Manning. He's second all-time in passing touchdowns, only behind Matt Stafford now. But when it comes to the team success, like, even in just 5 years, Jared Goff has infinitely more than Matt Stafford did. 15 wins last year, for crying out loud. I think it's pretty safe to say Jared Goff is the best quarterback in franchise history. As crazy as that sounds. Bob, are you saying Bobby Lane?
You're saying
Matt Stafford?
I think it's safe to say?
It's getting pretty close.
Stafford still owns like all the records, dude.
He's been here forever. Jared Goff has more success than him, though.
Sure, but like, I mean,
I think Bobby Lane is a better argument.
We're not doing this Goff Stafford thing
right
now.
No,
are we?
that was not the point of this segment. I just wanted to bring up some of this Goff stuff. And also, I realized this yesterday, too. I no longer have any questions about who Jared Goff is. I have well, can he do this? Is he good enough for this? None of it. None of it crosses my mind anymore. I know exactly who Jared Goff is. I know exactly what he needs to succeed. And I know the Lions have built a team around him to where they are capable of winning the Super Bowl. Now, was last year's playoff loss a lot on him? Yeah, but it was a lot on everybody, too. Injuries, Jared Goff. I don't think Ben Johnson had a great game. Offensive line wasn't great. Shout out Graham Glasgow. But we know what Jared Goff needs to win a Super Bowl, and I don't think he's holding this team back by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe if they were in the AFC, it'd be a different conversation, but they're not. I have no more questions about who Jared Goff is as a quarterback.
Yeah, I feel like most Lions fans are probably on the same page as you, right? I mean, we all know what it takes to have a successful team led by Jared Goff because we've seen it. You know, they were a half away from going to the Super Bowl based on the season that they had with setting him up for success there. So, yeah, and as far as, like, I mean, what, do you think people were questioning it post-Packers game?
No, I don't think people were questioning it post-Packers games, but, like, hey, you and I were guilty of it after the Commanders game last season. Like, I think we just go in this
Goff
cycle of,
in
like,
the game, you know?
Goff has a bad game, and it suddenly becomes his fault. Like, every other quarterback doesn't have bad games once in a while.
But I will say, like, I love defending Jared Goff, and I love the guy, but we're not going to act like they didn't lose the game because Jared Goff threw 4 picks.
It was his worst game of the season.
And it happened at the worst time of the season, you know?
But I also think a lot of that was because Graham Glasgow had the worst game of his career in that game, playing guard.
Yeah, Mike Robertson gets injured a second into the game, and it's just like, okay, now clearly the defense isn't going to be able to hold up, so can the offense match it? And they couldn't.
Who was their best defender in that game? Carlton Davis was out. Ali McNeil was out. Amik Robertson was out.
Anzalone was back, correct?
Anzalone was back. If Anzalone is your best defender, you're in some big trouble. Yeah, Brian Branch, I guess.
Yeah, Branch, yeah.
But like if your two best players are your safeties, you're probably in some trouble.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That stat kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, it's an awesome stat.
He joins Megatron. How did Megatron not join, like, get the Offensive Player of the Week?
Yeah, how do you not just have way more? Yeah.
Only 4 times. You want to guess how many Barry had? I would have you guess who's number 1, but that's pretty obvious.
Oh, wait, I thought you said he tied Megatron for the most ever.
Tied for the second most ever.
Megatron, so Barry had way more. I was going to say, yeah. I mean, Barry has to have like 8 of these, right?
11.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
And it's only a matter of time before Goff's getting another one, right? He's going to do it again.
Oh, yeah, he'll get another one for sure.
Every time they play one of these bad teams, he just decimates them.
Yeah.
Like Gibbs is probably going to get one at some point this year.
They could have given it to St. Brown, honestly, over him.
Right? St. Brown won the Air Player of the Week. Air yards player.
There was a good amount of options
FedEx
for that, though. Neighbors, too. I mean, like, there was some good options.
I mean, when you have
the 3 touchdowns, yeah. First 3 touchdown game for Amon-Ra. Shout out to both of those guys because there's a clear connection there between those two that is on the same level of a Stafford Calvin Johnson. Like, no doubt about it.
I think it's the best wide receiver quarterback connection in the NFL. Yeah, especially with Burrow out.
Chemistry-wise thing. They are just...
It's unguardable.
Yeah.
Like the third touchdown St. Brown had of just it's a simple out route, but the location of it from Goff and how quickly he gets that ball out. Not just like when he starts, like just from the time he snaps the ball, the precision to get it exactly where it needs to go. It's the best connection in the league. Incredible stuff. 989-837-6125. Chris Castellani is going to join us next, talk about this Tigers team. We just got cinnamon rolls dropped off to us.
Oh, you can see them in the cam, too, right off to the right side. Wow.
Shout out to Sarah Stockford and her mother for making cinnamon rolls. These look delicious. Can't wait to enjoy some of those during the break. And then when we come back, again, Chris is going to join us, talk about this Tigers collapse. I'm pretty sure he was at the game last night.
Did you just eat a cinnamon roll live?
No, I tried to pull the plate towards me, and then there was like cinnamon on my thumb.
Oh.
So I just like licked it off. Is that okay?
Yeah, it was. It sounded like you would just quickly scarf down a cinnamon roll.
No. That would be insane how fast that would be. It would. I never stopped talking. Okay. That's what's coming up here in the 10 o'clock hour. We're doing around the league, too. The biggest surprises so far this NFL season. There's also a commercial that's been playing a ton. It's kind of edgy, and it actually makes me want to buy this product, even though I've never tried it. We'll get to all of it. It's the Ben Bosscher Show right here on 100.9 The Mitt. Live on YouTube. If you haven't hit the subscribe button already, please do so. Trying to get to 450 by the end of the week. We'll see if we can make it happen. Chris Castellani joining us next here. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on a Thursday on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Ugh, the outside of my house needs a total makeover. The siding is faded, the gutters are falling off, and the roof is leaking.
What is that falling from the sky?
Super Bresky!
Who are you?
Super Bresky!
Excuse me?
I'm here to tell you, Bresky Siding and Building Repair can fix your house in no time. All you have to do is call my dad, and your house will look as good as new.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At IronStack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. IronStack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Ah, bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm going to go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got it. Run! Get out! Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
At Scott Family Dental, we treat every patient like family because it's in our name. Our office culture is built on trust, comfort, and care, just like you'd want for your own loved ones. We don't sign contracts with insurance companies, so we can offer the highest quality dental care without compromise. That means your treatment is based on what's best for you, not an insurance plan. Scott Family Dental, compassionate care, lasting smiles.
Visit scottfamdental.com to schedule today.
When you want NFL football on the radio,
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
you know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
Tonight sees an AFC East clash in Orchard Park. The Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Coverage at 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Welcome back in, 10 o'clock hour. Brought to you by Corning. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. Chris Castellani joining us now. Chris, I think you were at the game last night. I for the first time, was watching the Tigers, and sometime in the 6th or 7th inning, I was just thinking to myself, I just don't think they have it today. I just lack the confidence in them to win the game, and I realized that, and I was like, that's like the first time I've thought that in a long time. They've lost, 5 of their last 6 games now. Where are you at with this Tigers team who can't seem to beat Cleveland when, A.J. Hinch says there's no pressure on them, but I don't know, it feels like there's a lot of pressure on this Tigers team with Cleveland knocking on the door of the AL Central.
Yeah, it's a problem. I mean, there's really no other way to put it at this point, and we can point to the numbers, we can point to the lead, but the fact is the way this team is looking right now, I think is indicative of what's been a downward trend for a long time that maybe we tried to ignore, that we tried to just say, oh, it's just one poor stretch. The fact is, offensively, pitching wise, fundamentally, this has been an average team at best in the second half, and you're going up against a team that does a lot of the little things correctly, and they exploit every one of your weaknesses. And having been at the game last night, I even tweeted about it. I don't question effort, and I don't question, like, I know these guys are prepared. You know, I don't think it's one of those classic instances that you hear about every few years of a team that's like checked out. I don't think that's the case. I do think that they're feeling the pressure. I'm seeing from just a pure energy eye test standpoint, a team that feels a little bit dejected right now. And it's you are once again I don't know how many times you've done this, 15 times this year, relying on Tarek Skubal to save you, going up against an opponent that is as hot as any in baseball. So yeah, I can't sugarcoat it. It's a dangerous time.
It's funny because we've floated around over the past year, even conversations you and I have had, like, hey, is it the bullpen that's an issue? Is it the starting rotation? Is it the offense? Well, right now, I think it's a little bit of everything, but taking a look just at the offense, past 60 days, I feel like that's a large enough sample size to really grasp onto something. 15th in home runs, 15th in runs, 6th in strikeouts, 15th in OPS, 13th in average, 22nd in walks. This feels like a very average offense that overperformed a lot in the first half of the season. That's part of my biggest worry going into the postseason. And not that they're going to like miss out on the postseason. That's one thing that Tigers fans at least can say, like, hey, this team's going to be playing in October. But when you start comparing their offenses to a lot of these other teams in the American League, it's like, I don't know if I'd pick them over anybody.
Yeah, no, it's completely fair at this point. I think a certain extent is water finding its level, but this is something I keep going back to, and I acknowledge, look, this is a team game, and you got to have lineups top to bottom that are putting together productive at-bats. But, you know, what is very frustrating to me when I watch this team go up against their opponents, but especially teams in their own division, is the fact that in a series like this, and I'm talking every single time we play the Guardians, their stars play like stars. J-Ram, consistently owns them. Stephen Kwan, I mean, what can you say? The guy is just a complete pest. You know, he just owns his team, slapping singles, playing great defense. You know, on the other side of things, and I know, look, there's 8 other guys in the lineup, but Riley Green is 2 for 29 this year against the Cleveland Guardians. You know, I'm telling you, if Jose Ramirez had the numbers against the Tigers that Riley Green has against the Guardians, the Tigers would be celebrating an AL Central championship right now. And we could talk about, there's a lot of stuff that we could point to with the uptick in offensive production, but you're reaching a point in the year where I'm throwing the sample size out. You know, high leverage at-bats matter at this point in the season. And, you know, they had opportunities last night, a million opportunities. The harder the order due up, AJ trying to play the matchups, it simply hasn't mattered. And I do think the deeper you get into a campaign, stuff like clutch factor, it factor, whatever you want to call it, it matters. And right now, it just doesn't seem like this team has that guy. Carey is probably the only one in a big time situation that you say, okay, I'm feeling pretty good about this. But besides that, you know, they've been shut down.
Chris, I've noticed on social media, a good amount of people that follow you and Tigers in general are maybe a little bit weary about the optimism, that the lack of optimism, I guess, for the Tigers. And I know that Ben shares the same thoughts as you. So if you had to play devil's advocate to kind of the way that the Tigers have been playing lately, is there a way that you can look past the way that things have been going over this long stretch now and look at this as this is still a playoff baseball team, whether or not they blow the division or not?
Yeah, look, I mean, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm a panicky Pete about all this stuff. Like, the magic number could be 1, and I'm still going to be freaking out about this. I've had 11 years of trauma with this team. Like, I'm not, you know, but the one thing I've said from the beginning and over the last few weeks is just get in, and just preferably get in and win the division. I've been watching this game a long time, and I always make the March Madness comparison. I don't think there's any correlation between how a team looks at the end of the season and how they're going to perform in October. I've seen teams that were red hot coming into October that got bounced in the first round. I've seen teams that stumbled in. I mean, 2 years ago, we had a Rangers team that was bad in the second half and a Diamondbacks team that won 84 games and they played in the World Series. Weird things happen once you get into October. My whole thing is they're stumbling their way in there, but if they get there, to me, it's a reset. And there is a legit chance that the team that shows up that we saw in the first 100 games, that team still exists. We might not, I don't know if we're going to see him again, but we could. That's my optimism. Is just like, I think the fear, similar to college basketball, don't be on the bubble. Find a way to get yourselves in. If you get in, then you can kind of play your game. You get a few days off, an opportunity to reset, line up your pitching however you want it. You're going to have Tarek going at least twice in a 5/7 game series. That to me is the optimism at this point, is just any way you can. I don't care if you're winning by 10 runs or 1 run, find a way to get in and win this division.
Kyle and I have debated what success looks like for this season. If you can, if they end up winning the division and get bounced in the first round, or I guess bounced in the ALDS, not playing in a wild card, is that success? Because it's the same point you got last year, plus you won the division. And I don't even know if that would be successful to me. And obviously, hang a banner, first division title since 2014. Like that stuff's all great. But after the year that they had last year and the start that they had this year, anything short of getting to the ALCS, I think would be a pretty big disappointment. And honestly, as much as I hate to say it, that feels like the most likely scenario, that they're just going to get bounced at some point before the ALCS. And I hate saying that because it sounds so pessimistic of me. And to your point, like all you have to do is get in. But I don't know. I just have a really hard time telling everyone up here in the Great Lakes Bay region, like, yeah, I'm picking the Tigers over anybody here in the AL once they make it to the ALDS, or whether they're playing in a wild card. However it ends up falling, like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I just keep walking back to the exact same thing now with these questions of like, I'm not super confident in this team, but how would you define success here?
Yeah, it's a good question. And look, going back to the pessimism, I just got to say, the team that we've seen in the second half, the team that we've seen over the last 40, 50 games, that team will not win in October. They're going to have to revert back to what we saw at the beginning of the year, which is a team that's grinding out at bats, that has a good enough pitching staff, that's holding down games. They're going to have to turn a switch on it, because this current version of them is not good enough. I mean, at this point, it's in question of whether or not it's good enough to win the division. It's really tough with me to define success, because, man, and I'm speaking like a fan, they were so bad for so long. And I understand last season you win a playoff series and the expectation is you want to get a little bit further. October is a very fluky thing. It's really difficult, and maybe I'm just, it's kind of a cop-out, but it's really difficult for me to call a season in which you've done something that you haven't done in 11 years not a success. Like, it's hard to win this division, and I think it's kind of where you have to split it up between regular season success and postseason success. I think that if they win the division, it's an overwhelmingly successful regular season. If they get bounced in the ALDS and you want to call it a disappointing October, hey, that's fine. I mean, the fact is, all these teams, they, it's like this across all sports, measure success and or failure based on what you do in the postseason. That's just kind of the world that we live in. So I kind of go back and forth with it. Here's one thing I will say. If they get bounced in the ALDS, it is a disappointment compared to where we thought they could be at the All-Star break, which is, we were thinking for 100 games, maybe this is that group. Maybe this is the team that's going to be able to get over the hump and do something we haven't seen here in a long time. They have definitely regressed back to the mean, and it's led to a disappointing second half.
I want to get your opinion on what the ideal maybe first-round matchup would be for the Tigers come playoffs. I know that obviously we're a little bit more worried about winning the division currently and beating up on Cleveland, but we kind of discussed the nightmare scenario this morning of the Tigers losing out on the bye, getting the 3 seed, and then Cleveland stays hot and sneaks in as the 6 seed, and all of a sudden you're playing them in the wild card round. So I would like to hear your opinion on maybe the Tigers' worst matchup in the playoffs and favorite matchup in the American League.
Yeah, I mean, by default, I could go the rest of my life without playing Cleveland again. So like, that is kind of the default. Like, I don't want to play them. Here's the team, and I don't like pointing out teams that I want to play, because I think it just sets you up for you play them in a 5-game series or 3-game series and they get hot. But the team that, when I look at the American League field, what I kind of look for in those small sample sizes are the teams that are most likely to beat themselves at some point. And the team that stands out to me as that group, we saw it last year in the World Series, is the Yankees.
Yep.
It's the fact that I think that, and we saw it in the series we just played against them in the Bronx. I mean, their bullpen fell apart in those 2 games that the Tigers won against them. I think every team, especially in this American League field, is so wide open. Every team has strengths. Every team has weaknesses. But I do think when you look at the kind of fundamental breakdowns at points, as they've been a disaster at the shortstop position. And I also think that that's like that reputation that they've developed is going to, I think that kind of creeps in the back of their mind in October as well. If I had to pick a matchup, I'd say them. I feel like the Tigers have played the best against them. Now it is also an interesting thing because they finished the year against Boston, who's a team that they swept in the early part of the season. That was a much different Red Sox team, but give a roundabout answer. I would say the Yankees simply because I think they're not going to have anybody starting pitching wise that's better than Skubal, and they're the team to me that is most likely to have a self-destructive moment. And if you self-destruct in one game, that's your season. So that's kind of how I feel about it right now.
Just hit the ball directly towards Anthony Volpe as many times as possible, and you're probably going to have some success in that series. Chris Castellani, you guys can follow him on Twitter. Always a good follow, good hang during the Tigers games on good old X, the Everything app, because it has everything. Chris, thanks for joining us here.
Always appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Chris, you guys can give him a follow on Twitter, like I said. This is a dark time for the Tigers fans. As crazy as it sounds, in first place, more than likely going to win the division, but it's just hard to have a ton of confidence in this Tigers team at this moment in time. 989-837-6125. We'll get to some of your Mitt messages. You guys are blowing up the line in just a moment. Like I mentioned earlier, though, the 10 o'clock hour here on the Ben Bosscher Show, as always, is brought to you by Corning, global leader in material science right here in Midland. From the glass in your smartphone, innovations that power the clean energy and advanced medicine that you use every day, Corning is shaping the future. But it's not just the technology, it's about the people. Corning invests in the community, supports local schools, and creates opportunities close to home. With a legacy of innovation and a commitment to what's next, Corning is proud to call Midland a part of its story. Corning, creating life-changing innovations, one breakthrough at a time.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
At Sandy Ridge, our completely renovated clubhouse is ready for you. With a brand new full kitchen, a spacious deck, and plenty of room for any event, it's the perfect spot for weddings, parties, or any special gathering. And that's not all. Our whole 16 green has been redesigned and is better than ever. Plus, our greens are the truest around, on par with the top courses, but at a price that fits your budget. Come visit us today at Sandy Ridge and see why we're the perfect choice for your next event.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Got house projects you push till the fall? Get the right tools. Select Milwaukee Power Tools. Buy one, get one free, including the brushless drill and impact driver kit. Keep that deck looking brand spanking new. Save $5 instantly on Thompson's Water Seal Wood Sealer and $10 on a gallon of cabinet exterior stain. And download the ACE app and get a $10 instant bonus.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
Let's go! Get him going!
Mondays this football season when you want the NFL.
I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! I got your back!
It's right here.
Let's make this thing happen. Come on.
We've got Monday Night Football all season long.
We got a big one coming up, guys.
The Lions are on the Mitt. Detroit faces the Baltimore Ravens on M&F. Coverage starts 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Thank you for the cinnamon rolls, Sarah. Those were delicious. All right, with that being said, this is a show for the people. Want to hear what the people have to say? 989-837-6125. That's the number of the Mitt messages. Nathan in Saginaw says, home opener for the Spirits this Saturday. They'll start on the road Fridays. Will you guys cover them at all? A little bit here and there.
Go Spirit.
Right. This one's from Jeff in Bay City. I'm optimistic that the Tigers will get hot and at least make it to the ALCS. You know what, Jeff? I'm happy for you that you're optimistic. Tell us why. Tell us why you're optimistic about this Detroit Tigers team, because right now they're not giving us a ton of reason to be optimistic. You can point to the first half of the season and say that team still exists, but why do you think they're going to come back? Kyle, if you were making the argument of why they're going to come back. Just because? That seems to be the reason right now.
Right. My singular reason to be optimistic, and I'm not saying this is what I believe in, but if I had to pick one, it is because the Tigers own the currently most dangerous weapon in a 3 or 5 game playoff series in any team in Major League Baseball, in Tarik Skubal.
Yep.
There's not a single guy, I think, in the entire league you would rather have just for a playoff series than Tarik Skubal. Maybe Shohei Ohtani, I guess. But just from what Skubal can do on the mound, like the fact that in a 5-game series you can pitch him twice if it gets to that point, and you just feel really good about taking 2 of those games and you just have to scrape together a 3rd win, like that is something that a lot of teams don't currently have. And even when they do have a guy that maybe they feel good in, if he's going up against Tarik Skubal, the Tigers still feel better in that guy. So that would be the reason why I say there's optimism.
I'm with you, except the issue is Skubal's on the mound today, and they just had really good outings from Mize and Flaherty back-to-back days, and they still found a way to lose both of those.
Right.
That's the part that's concerning. You got Skubal on the mound today. I think we get angry Skubal right from the jump. He has another start scheduled for Tuesday against Cleveland, and then those last 2 games of the regular season, there's no pitcher that's written in as the starter, which makes me think if they can clinch his playoff spot, they're just going to rest him for 2 more days. He gets an extra 2 days of rest.
Yeah, well, the Tigers are going to be, obviously, they will have a playoff spot clinched by that time. I would be very shocked if they didn't. It depends on, though, if they have the bye clinched by that point.
Right. If you have the bye, pitch him because he's going to get some time, like a week off anyway.
I was going to say if you have the bye, then don't, but I guess you're right because you are going to have time off. Yeah.
I guess there's not really a scenario where he's not pitching one of the last 2 days of the regular season, is there? Unless they've already clinched a first-round bye. But that seems unlikely.
But what if they haven't clinched a bye and they want to, because I think that's still vitally important, to me, I understand everyone is worried about the division and even the crazy people are worried about them making the playoffs. To me, my biggest concern is losing out on the first-round bye. I'm still obviously worried about the division, but I'm not as worried about that because it's a larger gap to lose that right now currently.
You said it's 1 game up over Houston
you're
right
game
now?
up over Houston, and Seattle just lost their first game in a week and a half, so they're playing really good. Houston is starting to get hot again, and the Tigers are not. You're only a game up on Houston. It's scary. You don't want to have to play in the wild card round with the way Detroit has played in the last 2 months.
Especially knowing you might have to play Cleveland. You could end up playing the Yankees.
Boston, and you play them for, like, Boston right now is the
you
6th.
imagine you get basically a 6-game series with Boston when you include the last 3 regular season games, too.
You don't really want that,
I don't think anybody would want. I don't think Boston would want that.
Like,
I don't
right
think Detroit would want that. Nobody wants to play a team 8 times in a row.
The most likely matchup for the Detroit right now, if they did miss out on the wild card, is Seattle or Boston. I'm good on either of those. Just because you have to play Boston right away, it's a much better team than you did, like Chris said months ago. And Seattle, we all don't want to play. You and I have been on that, especially you, for months now. So
the top of their lineup's horrifying. Their first 5 guys it's scary. Even though Gino Suarez hasn't been like the same guy he was.
It's just it takes one playoff series to all of a sudden that changes.
I wonder if if you know for a fact, hey, we're going to be playing Boston here. Like, let's say the next week goes pretty terribly, and it's like, yeah, we're going to be playing Boston here. Do you not even throw Skubal and be like, no, we're not letting you get a look at this guy in the regular season? That's what I would do.
It just depends.
If it does not matter, you're going to play Boston no matter what. What do those last 3 games matter in the regular season?
Right. Yeah, if the playoff positioning doesn't matter, which I think it'd be hard to get to that point, but in this hypothetical, probably not then, because they probably aren't pitching Crochet either.
Yeah. It'd be nice to get a look at Crochet, though, for the sake of the offensive players here.
Sure
might not even matter, though, because he's also lights out.
Tigers, though, here's some optimism, actually. You look at some of the other teams' aces in the American League. Yankees ace, Max Fried. Red Sox ace, Garrett Crochet. Left-hand pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
Tigers are the number 1 team OPS-wise against left-handed pitching in the MLB right now.
Which shocks me.
Yeah.
It really does.
Season long, at least, they are.
Because their best players are lefties.
Right.
It's weird.
It is weird. But the platoon guys, man, they're really something else.
This one's from Adam. He says, I'm optimistic because I think this team is waiting for the playoffs. They've hit a lull because there's a small part of the team that feels like there's nothing to play for right now. I agree. Get in, and we'll see what the Tigers of old, meaning before the All-Star break. If they feel like that, I guess I disagree with them being able to get to a point like that. Because if you let your guard down a little bit, I think that's just prime. It's hard to get your mojo back sometimes. It's hard to just turn off and on that switch. So if they've let their guard down, getting their mojo back becomes much more difficult than just we need to start trying again. Because I agree with you, Adam. There is an aspect of there doesn't seem to be a ton of urgency. They're not playing with the same swag. They've kind of lost their it factor a little bit. And maybe there is an element of they feel like they can just turn it on if they want to again. I don't like that mentality.
Why wouldn't you turn it on now? That's my only issue. It's why do you have to wait until the playoffs begin to do that? Wouldn't you want to get some stride going before that? Wouldn't you want to just clinch the division and get that monkey off your back? That whole perspective of it, I feel like that's I don't see that.
Eric says the Tigers are 500 against the National League this year. We cannot say beating the Braves is automatic. The Twins swept them after the trade deadline. Okay, that little stretch the Twins went on after the trade deadline is
just
inexplainable.
Got crazy hot, yeah.
It literally inexplainable. And I don't think any of us are writing in a series win against the Braves. The way the Tigers are playing right now, I'm not writing them in as a series win against anybody.
The Braves are on a 5-game win streak currently, right now.
And as much as their record,
what's up with us playing all the hottest teams in baseball, man? I mean, who do we got next? Seattle? What is going on?
And as much as the Braves have been a little bit disappointing this season, because their best players are
mainly all
hurt.
Injuries. Yeah, I mean they were supposed to be good this year for sure.
They still have some studs.
Yeah, Spencer Strider is still I think scheduled to pitch in that series against the Tigers. So yeah, this text is right. This is not an easy lock it up series against the Braves.
Strider's supposed to pitch on Sunday.
Yeah.
Hey, we sent a fan to Sunday's game. Ooh. We also get Joey Wentz on Saturday, so that's nice. But yeah, this. I'm not writing them in against anybody right now. It's just automatic wins.
I thought that text was going to be
really tough stretch.
Oh, they're not going to be able to beat somebody in the World Series because they can't beat the National League. That's fine with me, man.
Yeah, if they get to the World Series,
whatever. You get swept by the Dodgers, who cares? We made the World Series. That's all I care about.
And once you get there, it's you have a Skubal, so you never know. Last one. This one says, don't even think it's a guarantee they make the playoffs at this point. Wow. Hard to see them getting in on a wild card if they lose the division with Boston this hot. Fundamentals are breaking down right now for this team. Agree with you that fundamentals are breaking down. Agree with you that they seem lackadaisical is not the right word, but there is a little bit less urgency. Them missing the playoffs would be catastrophic. That'd mean they basically don't win another game this season.
Impossible.
They'd have to not win another game this season, which seems unlikely. So I'm going to say they're going to be in the playoffs. Whether or not they win the division, I think, is a little bit more up for debate. But playoffs, that seems like it's just going to happen. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. Let's take a trip around the league when we come back. Switch over to the NFL. The biggest surprise through 2 weeks is, well, I'll let you know when we come back. Bright smiles, they start at Scott Family Dental, where comfort care and clean teeth come at a standard. Locally owned by Brandon Scott, a native of the Great Lakes Bay region, the business is family-focused. They treat patients like kids of their own. From routine checkups to whitenings, crowns, and more, they've got the tools and the gentle touch to keep your smile shining. Friendly staff, modern tech, and zero judgment, even if it's been a while since your last visit. So go ahead and show off those pearly whites. Scott Family Dental has your back and your teeth.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Michigan needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. Let's take a quick pause on the Tigers because we're just getting ourselves worked up and take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, Kyle, here's what I got for us today. I want to go over the biggest surprises so far into the NFL season 2 weeks in. Are you surprised about these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things? Easy enough?
Sounds good.
Kyle, are you surprised Ben Johnson and the Bears are imploding before October has even arrived? Let's not forget, this team started 4-2 last season. They have a collapse in week 1, like an all-time one. They get their butts kicked in week 2 by the Lions. Ben Johnson yesterday threw shade at Caleb Williams for his practice habits, even though I'm pretty sure the practice habits are set by the head coach. The culture refuses to take any blame. That's fine. Regardless, what's happening in Chicago feels pretty gross right now. I didn't think they'd be great, but if you follow the training camp and all the stories coming out of there, it was like, oh, maybe this Bears team has some problems. I didn't think it'd be this bad. This feels gross.
Yeah, I'm about as surprised of that happening as I was when neither of us achieved our golf score goals yesterday on the golf course, which is not at all. We discussed this all offseason, man. I was out on the Bears from the rip. They're always the most hyped up team in the league. Coming into the season, that they're finally going to take the jump. And there was just zero things to believe that was going to happen coming into training camp. In what happening in training camp. Clearly, Ben Johnson's frustrated. Clearly, Caleb Williams has not taken the leap that maybe some thought he would. So I'm not shocked by this at all. Maybe I'm shocked a little bit by how much Ben Johnson seems to hate his life. Maybe that's a little bit surprising.
I've never seen a coach hate a quarterback as much as Ben Johnson
hate
hates
his own
Caleb
quarterback.
Williams.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty funny, but I mean, what was that clip that he said the other day? Our practice habits are not implementing a good team.
They're not up to championship standards. It's like, dude, you control everyone's practice habits.
You're
the one that's in charge.
You're telling me practice is even an issue? Oh, man, that's the easiest part.
But also throwing your quarterback under the bus, well, it's like, dude, you're the one in charge of practice. You're the one in charge of cultivating a culture.
Right.
It's like, I don't think he understands that part of it. I'm a little surprised on how poorly this has gone. I didn't think we'd have Ben Johnson throwing shade at his quarterback this much.
I took in a Bears alt under this season, so I'm not shocked by this at all.
All right, let's move on to another 0-2 team, the Texans. Are you surprised that the Texans have opened the season 0-2 and are underdogs here in Week 3 heading to Jacksonville?
I think it'd be hard to sit here and be like, oh, I saw this one coming. Now, maybe if you take a look at their schedule and it was like, well, they're playing two of the better teams in the NFC, in the Rams and the Bucs to open up the season. Sure, they could start 0-2. But I think it's the lack of offense from Houston that is really the major concern. Yeah, the Rams and Bucs, they have really good defenses, but we kind of thought that this Texans offense was going to take a leap to back to what it was 2 years ago with how good their defense was. This offensive line of Houston it's
atrocious.
It's really bad. And the weapons mainly haven't been as good as they were when they had a loaded wide receiver crew or 2 years ago prior to the Tank Dell injury. But, yeah, I mean, I would be a little bit surprised by this, especially with them being underdogs in Week 3.
That's the part that's the most surprising to me.
Yeah, because Jacksonville, and I was kind of high on Jacksonville coming into the year. The Jaguars have been maybe more of a mess than Houston has, despite having one more win than they have. So that is probably the part that I'm a little bit shocked by, yes. That is surprising.
I'm surprised the Texans are 0-2, but, again, you look at their schedule and two tough teams, but you kind of expect to at least get one of them. In the Bucs or the Rams. Baker goes on his 2-minute drill and slices you up down the stretch of the game. You don't even score a touchdown versus the Rams. They're dogs in Jacksonville. You know they've beaten Jacksonville 9 straight games? 9 straight games and they're dogs.
Really? That's crazy.
That's very surprising.
That's good to know.
I'm a little concerned with this Texans team, a little bit.
Yeah, I am too.
For how much stock I put into them.
They were kind of the team that everyone was writing in to win the division for a third straight season, and because it was like, who else are you going to pick to win it? And you have Indianapolis off to the hot start, and if Jacksonville can beat them this week, then obviously things are looking weird.
0-3 teams making the playoffs. Not a ton of them.
Doesn't happen too often.
All right. Are you surprised that the Packers look like juggernauts? Their team has 8 sacks. It's the second most in the NFL. It's really hard to throw on this team. Top 10 third down defense, top 10 red zone defense. They've got this explosive offense. I'm shocked. I really am. I'm floored. This was not at all what I expected from this Packers team, but they looked the part, as much as I hate to say it.
Yeah, I'm extremely shocked. I'm very surprised. I think even without Micah Parsons, they were going to be really good.
Yep.
Like, just because Micah Parsons hasn't even played a ton, that's the part that I think surprises me the most. I think they still would have beat up on the Lions in week 1 without Micah Parsons. And so, yeah, I'm extremely surprised by this. To me, I view them as the top team in the NFC, personally.
The top team?
Yeah, I view them over the Eagles. I really do. The Eagles just, 1, the Super Bowl hangover thing is real from non-Chiefs teams. And 2, it's just, I don't know. The Packers have shown a level of dominance through 2 weeks that is alarming, to say the least, to all the other teams in the NFC. So I am very surprised by this, for sure.
Are you surprised that everyone now hates the tush push? It's been 2 weeks. Over the offseason, It got passed that it would stay in the NFL, but now it feels like much more people are off of the tush push bandwagon and want this thing to be gone.
Everyone hated the tush push last year. To me, this is nothing new. I just think that it's more so being talked about because of how close it was to actually getting banned a year ago, and because most people realize it probably is going to get banned this upcoming offseason. But yeah, I am not at all shocked by this. Everyone already hated the tush push. I mean, all NFL fans despise that.
But not really. Not all the NFL teams, not all the NFL owners. Otherwise, it would have gotten banned last year. But now it feels like just because of that singular play against Kansas City where all the guys jumped off sides and you have the rules analysts coming in and being like, I'm so done with this. It's impossible to officiate. Everyone's so bunched together that you can't see when the false start happens because you can't see the ball because everyone's already lined up off sides. I just can't stand the way it's officiated and what they let happen during that play. It'd be one thing if they actually lined up normally, put the ball in front of the center's head, but everyone's just like hunched up, lined over the ball. I'm off. I don't like the tush push anymore.
I don't think many people do, other than Philly fans, and we're going to hate it a ton when the Eagles play the Lions.
All right, last one I have. Are you surprised that there could be a coach fired as soon as week 3? Mike McDaniel in action tonight. They never beat Buffalo, ever. And this would be the time to do it with a long week coming up. You got the extra days for your coach to, or whoever you hire as your interim coach to, get a grip of the team, have the extra 3 days because you play on the Thursday. It kind of feels like there's a pretty good chance Mike McDaniels is coaching his last game tonight.
Yeah. So the question is, am I surprised that someone could get fired?
As soon as week 3, yeah.
No, I'm not surprised by that. I actually don't know if it's going to happen, though, because what? Are they supposed to beat the Bills?
No, but this is inevitably going to happen anyway. Why not just rip the Band-Aid off as early as possible?
That, I think, is the fair part. I also think that there is a Brian Daboll discussion. I'm not saying that I don't think he should be fired, honestly, because he's the one that wants Jackson Dart anyways, and the fact that if he gets fired before that. But I just have been seeing that kind of tossed around a little bit. But, yeah, the fact that someone could get fired as soon as week 3, I don't think that is surprising because we do see this happen most of the years. There's always at least one coach going into the year that we just know, they're getting fired midseason.
The ticking time bomb.
Now, there's always usually one that is very surprising as well that happens. That usually doesn't happen as early as week 3. So I don't think we see a surprising one. Everyone sees the writing on the wall for Mike McDaniel. It could, like you said, the long week, it kind of makes sense if you want to get it out of the way. Probably better off as an OC where he doesn't need to talk to the media nearly as much. So I'm not too surprised by this, no.
All right. That's around the league. 989-837-6125. Again, I hope everyone's having a good Thursday so far. We've got the Tigers in action at 1 o'clock today. We just got a starting lineup. We can go through that next. But there's also this, edgy, weird commercial that keeps playing that's new. I wanted to see if anyone else is really weirded out by it, but also like really wants to try the product now. That's when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on the Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The
I've been seeing these commercials. Saw during the Tigers game, seen them during college football games, seen them during NFL games. I guess that's all I really watch on. I don't have cable, but you know what I mean. Have you ever tried Liquid Death?
Yeah, the canned water.
Yeah. These commercials are insane.
I guess I...
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I guess I haven't seen the commercials. No, inform me.
The commercial, there's two different ones. There's the drinking and driving one with the pregnant lady who, I mean, these Liquid Death cans, first of all, they look like alcoholic cans.
Yeah, you
right?
wouldn't think it was water. Yeah.
No, I didn't
like
know until last night that I was like, oh, these are actually just water. Because I had kept seeing these commercials, like, what am I watching? And then I finally, like, really sat down and was like, what is this last night? It looks like a knockoff Miller Lite. Like, exact same can, same kind of text.
Or an energy drink. You know, like
Yes.
it looks like one or the other, yeah.
Yes, and there's two different commercials that I keep seeing. The one of the pregnant lady who's drinking and driving, and she gets pulled over. She's like, yes, I am drinking. A big one. And she pulls out the Liquid Death, drinking water, drinking for two. And I was like, what? And then the other commercial is where there's just like, there's a nun, there's a frat bro, there's like a lawyer chick, and then there's this gym fitness model girl who's like, I like really small ones. And you're just like, just keep going through it. It's like, I like to hold small ones. Like the big ones make me pee. It's like, what is this?
What are you talking about right now?
You haven't seen these commercials?
No,
and then
man.
and then at the very end they're like, now we have them in small cans. And the whole time it's like, you know exactly what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they're doing like think about all that it's caused from you right here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it is genius marketing play. Because I'm thinking the whole time, like, the fitness model pops on the screen. She's like, I like really small ones. And you're like, excuse me? And they do this for like 30 seconds. And then suddenly they just the last 5 seconds is like, try Liquid Death. Now coming in, now available in small cans. It's just water? That's all it is? Is it carbonated water?
Canned water, yeah.
Or is it just simply water? I have no idea. I saw these at Meijer, and I just walked by them like, I don't know what that is. But now I really want to try a small one.
Yeah, I've known what they are for some time, but I've never had a Liquid Death because I think the first time I saw one, I thought the same thing. Like, is this beer or is it a Monster in a different can? You know, like I really couldn't tell. No, it's just water. It's an interesting concept. People seem to really like them because they're a popular brand. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to do a taste test one of these days.
Well, it also says right at the...
I've not seen these commercials, though. I won't lie.
Keep your eyes peeled. It also says at the end of in the commercials, like, available on Amazon. I'm like, that's really interesting. They're trying
you can order them, like, in bulk and stuff.
Like, that's really interesting, though. They're trying to get you to order water through Amazon?
I mean, it's no different than ordering, like, a huge pack of energy drinks. You're just ordering a huge pack of canned water.
So, okay, I just looked it up. There's an original non-carbonated mountain water, which is like my favorite. I like the Ice Mountain brand. And then there's liquid sparkling Death water as well, where it's like a carbonated version of this. I don't think I'd like that. I don't think I'd like that as much. I don't typically drink like carbonated water. But it's just water in a can? That's all it is?
That's all it is, man. It's just canned water, yeah.
That's so bizarre to me. These commercials are genius. They're so smart. I don't know which one's crazier. The one where there's like 5 different people talking about how they like it small, and the big ones like are too big, or what was the other one I said? What's the other one?
The lady driving?
Yeah. It's like, this is weird. I feel uncomfortable watching this one. She gets pulled over. She's like, yes, I am drinking.
You're making all this up, honestly. Did you just have a weird dream last night? You're just kind of like...
I did have a weird dream last night, but it was not to do with the Liquid Death water.
Wait a second. Now we have to go down this path.
I don't remember what the dreams... I never remember my dreams because you have to wake up in the middle of them to remember them. I learned that in psych when I was in high school. Your dream has to be disrupted with you waking up to remember them. I never remember my dreams, but I do remember waking up in the middle of the night and being like, that was really weird.
So you did wake up in the middle of your dream, but you still don't remember it.
Yeah, but then I fell back asleep, and now it's just out of my brain. Oh. No idea what it dreamed about, but I do remember waking up in the middle of the night like, that was really weird. No, I don't know. Do you want to just, like, after the show, go pick up some Liquid Deaths? Go cruise around? Try to get a police officer to pull us over? It's like, no, officer, we're drinking water. We can try the small ones.
You might be the first person that is like doesn't know about liquid death, though. That's the thing.
Really?
Like, they're not gonna be like, what is that? They're gonna like, no, that's just a liquid death. That's probably happened to them several occasions.
Does it taste better? Do you think all the different water brands taste differently? Because I'm very adamant that every single brand of water tastes very different.
I agree, and I am actually this is an unpopular opinion.
If you tell me Dasani's your favorite water,
no. That's not it. This isn't even a brand thing. This is just a type of water. I am a purified water over spring water guy. I know a lot of people are team spring water.
I don't think that's a hot take. I like spring water more.
I like really prefer the purified water, and I can kind of tell. I mean, it's very obvious to tell the difference between the two. So I'm always team purified water, though.
I like spring water more. I like the Ice Mountain. That's got to be the best brand of water. But if this Liquid Death is from a mountain and mountain water, I might have to give it a try.
There you go.
Is it more expensive than a regular water
Probably.
because it's in a can? But you can also return these, I would assume, make some profit back from them because you can't really return water bottles.
No, you can't really do that.
You can't return these.
I would
cans?
assume you can't return the cans for coin. No.
Someone said in the YouTube chat, there's one with a classroom of kids drinking Liquid Death. I think it was the first commercial they ever made, and went crazy until everyone realized it was water. These commercials are also. Why would you name your water company Liquid Death?
Because
it gets a reaction out of
reason,
me. Yes.
For this exact reason, it's pretty genius. I mean, it's just water, but no one would think it is. I think it's a super good idea.
Counter. I've never actually had it.
So
is it actually
you literally
working?
said I'm gonna go buy one and try it. Like you just heard of this the other day.
I say that, but unless one is put right in front of my face, I'm probably not going to.
I guarantee if you were
Do
at
they
the
sell them at
store-
gas stations?
Yeah. Like I said, I guarantee if you were at the store and you saw one, you would buy it.
Okay, but how many people walk by them at the gas station and never even think to
Know
grab
that it's
them? Because
water?
this has probably happened to me dozens and dozens of times.
Yeah, because I don't want to get a beer right now. I want to get a water.
Yeah, I'm going to go towards the clear water bottles where I can see that it's water, because these cans don't look like water cans at all. Because water cans aren't real. It's not a real thing.
Yeah, it is.
Liquid Death. Now it feels like we're giving them a free ad. Maybe we need to call them.
This totally has been just an 8-minute segment on go buy Liquid Death.
Liquid Death, Ice Mountain water. No, I don't know. I saw the commercial last night, and I've had a hard time keeping these things to myself. And I fell for it like 3 different times. And on the 3rd time, I was like, okay, wait, what is this commercial? These ladies talking about how they like it small.
Yeah, you just keep bringing that up, man. It's just really, it's an odd commercial.
They could knock a Super Bowl commercial out of the water. How have they not jumped into this group yet?
That's a good point.
How have they not jumped? Because if it was a Super Bowl ad, guess what? We'd all know about it. We'd all be like, do you remember that one where it was like the people in the classroom drinking beer,
That's
but
a
it's
really good
actually
point.
water?
Maybe they're like doing a bunch of previews, like cooking up for the Super Bowl ads. Like they're kind of like getting ready for the big commercials that they'll put out for the Super Bowl.
It's founded in 2017. I feel like it's just now getting big as of recently, because I'm noticing their commercials for the first time. I just don't know a single person that's ever had one. That's, I guess, my problem. I've never seen someone drink one.
I've seen them at my in my parents' fridge at home sometimes when I go there.
And you didn't drink one?
No, I mean, it wasn't mine, you know?
I don't know. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like these Liquid Deaths. I can't tell if it's genius or bad advertising. Let us know. 989-837-6125. I want to jump back into the Detroit Tigers. When we come back, Adam said in our messages, deposit is not a profit. When you pay for it, you buy it. You're just getting your 10 cents back. Oh, okay. My bad. All right, we'll get to our NFL picks in the 11 o'clock hour. John maybe is going to join us. I don't know where he is. Maybe one day he'll join us, talk about the Tigers. He said he wanted to at 11. I don't see him anywhere. So maybe Kyle and I will just do that next. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube, do us a favor. Hit the sub button. Only takes a minute, but it goes a mile for us here at the station. We'll talk to you in just a moment. This Detroit Tigers team, there's one other pitcher the Tigers could have had. He's not here. That's next.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Addison Thormeyer from Farwell High School. With a 3.7 GPA, Addison is a member of the track and field and cross-country teams and played soccer for travel teams competing up in age with girls and playing with the boys.
Oh, I should go try out for the boys team. Like, why not? Because he was the coach for that team. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, worst thing that happens is they don't make the team. So I go and try out, and he ends up calling me and saying, hey, I want you to come play for me. And it became a lot of fun, ended up being a totally different experience than playing with the girls, and one I don't regret having.
This fall, Addison is now attending Saginaw Valley State University. She'll major in electrical engineering. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt's Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Terry Johnson, President and CEO of Greater Midland.
What faced the most challenges for you? Like, is there a certain role that you were like, public, I know you said public affairs, but there was a certain time period or maybe even a certain event where you're like, okay, this is a challenge I can now take with me throughout my entire career, or any advice that you have for like young professionals that you learned maybe from like a certain lesson?
Yeah, two things come to mind. One, for a period of my Dow career, I managed crisis communications. So nothing's more challenging or a better learning opportunity is when you're kind of feet in the fire, when there's things going on.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Transform your outdoor space with Maple Hill Nursery. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or just looking to relax in style, they have everything you need. From premium polywood furniture that never needs painting to top quality plants and trees, Maple Hill Nursery has it all. Plus, they offer free setup and delivery on in-stock barbecue grills. Visit them today just north of Midland Mall or check out their website for pro tips and expert advice. Maple Hill Nursery, making your yard the place to be.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, he's here. We found him. John Vicari's joining us. Some are calling him a Tigers expert. I'm not. Some people are, though. But he brings a different perspective because he doesn't care about the Tigers. He's a stupid Yankees fan. That's why we tormented him last week when the Tigers destroyed the Yankees. But now, the Tigers have found themselves in a situation where fans are worried. Fans are a little bit concerned. It's annoying that they haven't locked up the division yet. Our fans, I don't want to say fans, but our listeners of the show, maybe they're fans too, I don't know. People are a little worried right now. But there's also some people that are optimistic that this Tigers team is going to be able to figure it out. Where do you lay on this thing? Because it feels like the Tigers are playing their worst baseball of the season at the time where they need to be playing their best.
No, the time where they need to be playing their best is October. That's why you got out to such a great lead this year. It was funny. I've listened to the show all morning, of course.
Every morning, right?
Every morning, as everyone else should as well. Castellani's talking like, oh, it's the end of the world. Like,
that's because it is.
No, it's not. You guys have games in hand. Like, obviously, it's not going to be, all right, you win a division, you get to coast for a couple weeks. Ideally, the way you guys started the season, the way the Tigers started the season, that would be ideal. But there's no, he says all this pressure's on them. What pressure's on the Tigers? They're guaranteed a playoff spot.
They suck right now. That's the pressure that's on them.
You have a Skubal. If Skubal gets hurt, there's pressure. If he takes the mound this afternoon, doesn't look himself, whatever, then there's pressure. you have that ace in the hole always with an offense that even when it's, great, or even in games this year, their best stretch of games in the first half, there were 2-1 wins. Like, it's an offense for the Tigers that's going to have nights like last night, even in the postseason. Hopefully not a shutout, but like low-scoring games. They're only going to win low-scoring games. They're not going to win shootouts with the Astros and the Mariners come postseason. It's just not going to happen. So if Skubal looks bad today, yeah, sure. But the last two, you chalk up as L's, a team that's actually hungry. You're not hungry. Like, I would say Detroit's just not hungry right now because they don't need to be, rather than the pressure is just mounting on their shoulders. What pressure?
That's the thing, though. We've talked about this. Like, maybe there's
pressure on the Yankees.
They're not hungry right now. That's not a good mentality to have, though.
It's just what it is. You can't manufacture.
But you can't also turn the switch on and off.
Yes,
like,
you can.
The day the postseason rolls around, all right, we're going to start trying now. That's not how it works.
That's how professionals go about this. There's slumps in the season, especially in a baseball season. I understand that mentality from a football perspective because there's only 17 games in the regular season. It's a once-a-week thing.
Yeah, the only team that's ever achieved comfortability in the regular season is Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes. So, like, that makes sense from that perspective, but from a baseball perspective, yeah, there's going to be peaks and valleys. There's going to be lulls in the season, and right now, and you also have to realize, too, you have a guy who's been there, done that with so many different teams in Hinch. When he is going to have them ready for the postseason, you believe he's going to do it. Like,
okay, but it's time to wake up, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
That's fair.
It's time to wake up.
That's fair, but it's also like, yeah, the urgency's on Cleveland. Like, we're talking about Cleveland, and I made the joke last night texting you guys, oh, the best team in baseball, look at them. This is a fan base in Cleveland that's like, thank you guys for finally waking up and giving us a shot, but it's a Guardian team that looked dead through the month of July. So, yeah, not to like say, all right, you shouldn't be worried at all, but like hitting a panic button right now, I think is a little too presumptive.
I think the thing that's frustrating Tigers fans specifically, though, and Kyle, bring yourself into this too, Justin Verlander, just another incredible outing yesterday.
Why does that matter?
Because
that happened how many years ago?
What are you talking about? It's Verlander pitching for the Tigers?
Yeah.
Yeah, a decade ago.
Okay, so why does that
matter? But you know who would be really helpful right now is him.
Ty Cobb would be too.
Chris Paddock came out of the pen yesterday
Miguel
and stunk it up.
Would be
Chris Paddock and Charlie Morton are useless people, and they could have gone after Justin Verlander this past trade deadline and brought someone like that in. It's just, I don't know. I'm just panicking.
This team's different with bringing in a 40-year-old Justin Verlander. That was the solution.
He has a .45 ERA through 3 starts in this month.
So maybe not your top knock on Scott Harris, but a knock on Scott Harris right now, you should have brought back in Verlander. That's what some people think.
The knock is the knock isn't you should have brought in Verlander. It's why'd you bring in Charlie Morton and Chris Paddock in instead of Verlander? If you were going to trade for an old man, do the one who actually has upside, not Charlie Morton.
I also just think, though, that we're clearly past the complaining about the lack of moves at the deadline and offseason.
Because Verlander's peaking right now. He just had another incredible. He had threw 107 pitches yesterday and didn't allow a run again for the second time this month.
Why are we still complaining about that? You know? Like, and also, we're just so removed from that scenario ever happening.
You're acting like the starter yesterday, crapped his pants. Like, Flaherty pitched well enough for them to win.
It was
they didn't score any
bats.
runs.
It was the bats yesterday, obviously. I mean, when you get shut out, it's nobody's fault but the bats.
So, yeah, like, listen, I wouldn't be caught up in Verlander and calling everything. Like, the one point, and you made it and Castellani made it, it would just be nice to clinch everything and to have everything secure, but that's sometimes just not how it works. But the urgent, like, if you're worried about the switch going up and down or going on and off for this team, I wouldn't be. It's a team with playoff experience, too. They know the difference. Last year,
I guess,
okay, like if this season happened last year with the team that, for the majority of guys didn't have postseason experience, it's like, oh, man, they had this great first half. Now they're, cooling off. I don't think they're going to be able to reactivate. They have the experience. They've been there, done that.
They still have less experience than basically every other team that's fighting for a playoff spot, no?
I guess.
Other than maybe the
Mariners have no playoff experience. The Houston Astros core, Jeremy Pena is amazing, and obviously, if Jordan stays healthy and they have the pitching, but a lot of those position players...
Isn't Jordan hurt? Did he get hurt yesterday?
Hurt, yeah.
All those position players, what World Series do they have? Their core's gone, right? Bregman, Altuve is obviously still there. Mariners don't. Cleveland has as good of experience as, all right, losing to the Yankees every year, which is just great. I I don't
to throw
know.
that one in there.
It's not like there's this. It's not like it's the Astros, close to a dynasty team. That's not what exists in Houston. And you beat that team last year.
There's no dynasties in the AL. There's no team that's like a big scary team.
And your boy Castellani comes on and says the easiest threat or the easiest team I want to play is the defending American League champions.
Oh, this is why John is so hot. I was wondering where this was stemming from.
But if that's the case, then how are we hitting the panic button at the same time? How is
Because they've been bad for 2 weeks. Here's the problem. They've been bad for a week and a half, and they've been average, nothing more, for 2 months. 2 months, they've been average. They're below 500 the last 60 days. That's not what you want to hear about your baseball. I would have rather them been 500 and we had a disappointing pre-All-Star break, and instead of having how many All-Stars they ended up having? 6, which was ridiculous. Yeah. I would have rather had 2 All-Stars and then Casey Mize and Zach McKinstry and Javi Baez come to life at the end of the season rather than at the beginning when we got all our hopes up that this was going to be a juggernaut team the entire season. Now it's like I have to reel back my expectations. No fan wants to do that, and that's unfortunately the reality that the Tigers are living in right now.
I got you. How long do you want them to be hot for, though? Is a week sufficient enough? Like if they just, I don't know, rail off their last 6 in a row?
That'd be nice.
Okay. So that could still happen. They can get their last 10, right? They have 10 games remaining?
Yes.
I mean, that's all that matters. Like, all right, you win today, and then you take the rest of the series, maybe not win out, obviously, because you don't have to like Cleveland does, but you take series, you're going to feel good about this
This
team.
does fit the point of earlier when we were talking about this, Ben, early in the show, when, someone texted in and said, I hate this fan base. And I honestly kind of understood what they were saying as far as, sometimes we do need to zoom out and, really realize they've been locked into a playoff spot nearly the entire season. That's something that we really can't take that for granted, right? That hasn't happened in over a decade, So I understand it. It's different coming from this fan base rather than a one like John's, where the Yankees are typically a successful team every season. And I just think that maybe we should view things a little bit differently as Tigers fans.
Vegas thinks a lot less of the Tigers right now than they did a month ago. Toronto the favorite in the American League. The Yankees right behind them. The Mariners behind them, and the Tigers 4th in terms of World Series odds for teams in the American League. They were once upon a time the favorites not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if you still think they're going to win the World Series, bet them right now.
There
Plus
you go.
1,000. I will not be making that bet.
Why? It's your team, dude.
No, can't do it.
You never know what happens in the fall.
I'll still do it with the Lions, but I just.
You're just not gonna at all, just as a.
Do it.
Extra token of happiness if it does happen.
Not any more than I already have.
Right.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, this would be the time to do it though. Cleveland's sitting all the way back at plus 10,000.
Yeah, they're not a postseason team.
Yeah, they still have
they still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
They could beat you guys Tanner Bybee can out-ace Tarek Skubal today, and then they could win this weekend, and they're still not in. They have such an uphill climb. Benetti laid it out last night on the broadcast. They basically have to win out. It's they control their own destiny. What does that include? Winning every game that they have remaining. You know how hard that is to do?
They've been doing it.
And they've won, 10 of the last 11?
11 to 12.
So now they have to win 20 of their last 22?
It's basically what the Tigers did last season.
Jeez.
This Cleveland team's very reminiscent of that last year's Tigers team.
In what way?
They don't have a ton of superstars on their team outside of their two,
Mm-hmm.
in Kwan and Ramirez, and they're just finding ways to win games even though their OPS ranks 29th in Major League Baseball. They just come up with these timely hits late in games and find ways to score runs.
That's been their bread and butter the last 5 years.
Yeah,
and they fall short every time.
Voodoo magic, devil magic.
Somehow they're doing it without their back-end closer as well.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But that makes them more of a threat. If you want to say, all right, it's the worst Cleveland team in the last couple of years, because it is, because they're not in the playoffs. Cleveland's a perennial playoff team at this point.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not yet.
Hopefully the Tigers can clinch the AL Central here coming up. Hey, we've got our spread picks. John, nice bounce back week last week. Kyle, not as much.
Wow.
I didn't hear anything.
All right, let's do our NFL spread picks. Thursday tradition. When we come back, it's the Ben Bosscher Show live right here on 100.9 The Mid. Don't forget, the 11 o'clock hour here on the Ben Bosscher Show is always brought to you by Yiter Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Yiter Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yiter has the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people who can actually talk to you. Yet Insurance Group will be there when you need us since 1940. Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt. Spread picks when we come back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
No better place than right here on the Ben Bosscher Show. Let's go over our records 2 weeks into the season. I am 8-4. It's pretty good. 66%. I'll take that. You two are both 500. Kyle's 6-6. John's 5-5. Both of you have had one great week, and both of you have had one bad week. I, on the other hand, have had 2 good weeks.
Yeah, 4 in 1 week. There we go. I can hear myself now. 4 in 1 week.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It makes up for your 1-4 week 1. Yeah. Kyle, you got anything to say about the collapse you had last week?
Oh, man. I mean, the fact that my only correct pick of the week was the New York Football Giants is truly, it's pretty saddening, honestly. Yeah, really bad week for me. A lot of bad picks. Looking to bounce back this week. Even though I said earlier this week, I got screwed over a lot with a lot of my picks last week.
Yeah.
A lot of them very last second, late in the game, getting screwed over. It just kind of, it's
Welcome to betting on the NFL.
It's kind of the story of my life, honestly, you know?
You guys both 500, but Kyle has a 6-6 record. You have a 5-5. I think he gets the tiebreaker because he, is betting more than the 5 games. Has some balls to do it,
He has more losses.
Whoa.
He has more wins too, though. I think the tiebreaker goes to who's played more games. There it is. Chris Collinsworth laugh. All right, let's get it started. This is like the trap line of the week. Why is it only 3.5? That's way too sus for me.
They're going to beat Jacksonville by a touchdown. I don't care if they have to go overseas to do it.
This is like disgusting football, and I want no part of it.
NFL against the spread.
Alrighty, we'll kick things off Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. It's the Dolphins. It's the Bills. Biggest spread of the week, fellas. Bills favored by 11.5. I wish I was playing. I wanted to find some sort of Josh Allen prop because he owns this Dolphins team. 2 is 1-8 against Josh Allen in his career. It's just been the most one-sided thing ever, but Josh Allen to score touchdown -175. James Cook to score touchdown -175. Vegas just knows that this is going to be a butt kicking tonight, so I'm out.
Yeah, if Vegas knows it, I know it too. You look at these divisional rivals, divisional matchups on Thursday night, and you're worried about, okay, short rest. Buffalo rested their starters in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Short rest, week 3, I'm going to kick that to the curb. I bet last week, Baltimore doing the same against Cleveland in a divisional game. This is Buffalo hosting Miami. I'll take the Bills -11.5 all day. I said I have to make my layups early on. I made it last week with Baltimore. I'll make it with Buffalo. I was looking for reasons not to bet the Bills too, and
I can give you one.
Give me one, please.
Matt Milano out.
Okay.
I mean, he's their best player on defense. Ed Oliver out.
Okay.
Best interior defender on the team. Secretly, Miami had 8 plays of 15-plus yards last week against a not-so-great defense, but I don't know what this Bills defense is going to look like without Oliver and Milano, and that made me think, I don't know, maybe Miami can hang in there, but here's another thing. Bills control time of possession through 2 weeks, number 1 in the NFL. Miami dead last, so if they're not efficient scoring the ball, it probably is going to be Bills 11.5. So I'm out.
Yeah, interesting play here, John. This is pretty bold.
Yeah?
This is a pretty big stay away for me. A division game with a spread this big on Thursday Night Football. That's like 3 things that are just, weird stuff can happen, so I'm out on this one.
All right. 1 o'clock slate, Sunday, Bengals, Vikings, Browning, Carson Wentz. No thank you. I'm out.
I'm good.
Yeah, this is one of those call the hotline games if you're wagering on this, so I'm out on this.
Explain that call the hotline.
Like the gambling
gambler.
hotline, the I have a gambling problem hotline because I'm betting on Jake Browning v. Carson Wentz in the big 2025.
Really?
So.
You think any NFL game constitutes a problem, huh? I'm thinking like Horizon League water polo is when you call the line, no?
Yeah, that could be it too. That's a good one. You sound like you've actually bet on that.
I stayed up until 2 in the morning watching ping pong betting on it one time.
That's really bad.
Not surprised, man.
Yeah, I'm out on this game.
All right, let's go. You know what's the most fun to bet on? Hawaii at like 11 p.m. after you're down 6 units in college football. Texans.
6 units.
Texans at Jaguars. The Jaguars are favored by 2.5 here, fellas. I'm shocked by this. The Houston offense has not looked great. I'll admit it. They've been very bad to start out the season. But I'll be damned if I'm not taking Houston in Jacksonville, a place they haven't lost in years. They have won 9 straight matchups versus Jacksonville straight up. And you're telling me I get 2.5 here. Look, I think C.J. Stroud's a better quarterback, despite him having some struggles early on, mostly to do with the offensive line. I think they have the significantly better defense. Trevor Lawrence, I've done a full 180 on him through 2 weeks. I was the biggest believer in him. I always thought he could figure it out at some point. He sucks. I've been watching him very intensely for 2 weeks because of my investments into Travis Hunter and his career. Here's some T-Law numbers for you. 79.3 NFL passer rating. That's one spot ahead of Bryce Young so far. Puts the ball in harm's way too often. I think Brian Thomas Jr. might have tried to steal his wife or something at some point because he's trying to give him hospital balls basically every single drive.
A lot of accusations.
It's crazy. It's not very good for Trevor Lawrence. 40% completion percentage when under pressure. You're going up against the second best pass rush grade in the NFL according to PFF. So I'm going with the Texans here.
Yeah, I am too. Question for you. Houston is 0-2 to start the year. You still picking them to win the division?
I am.
Me too. I'm Ryan Texans. I don't need to give my reasons. Ben did a good job. Kyle, you in? Come on, make it a sweep.
I'm in on this one too. I got Look, Ben laid out all the reasons. Mine is much simpler. Jacksonville somehow is in more shambles than the 0-2 Texans currently. And is Houston going to start 0-3? No. I don't even care about the points. Houston as an underdog here. They're going to win this game, so I'm all in on the Texans.
Yeah, and right now they're, I think, just +1, so it's already shifted publicly.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's big.
Good for us.
Mm-hmm.
Teamwork on that one. All right, Colts.
Or 3 L's.
It's Colts, -4.5 against the Titans on the road. This is a big – I'm staying away from all Colts right now. I don't know what to make of the Colts anymore. Through 2 weeks, consider me all set on Colts content.
I'm looking forward to this one. Danny Dimes, Cam Ward. It's one of the better quarterback matchups this week.
I am looking forward to it. I just don't have any confidence in picking the Colts. Like 4.5 for a Daniel Jones team, that seems a little crazy, but they've looked good.
See, but you could look at it the flip side. 4.5 for a 2-0 team that has looked pretty good against a Titans team that has looked really bad through the first 2 games.
I thought the Titans hung in there pretty good against the Rams last week until the fourth quarter.
No, they didn't.
Pick them, Kyle.
No,
Pick the Colts.
I'm not picking them. I just think that's why, because it's just an interesting line. I don't like it. I'm out.
I think the public has no idea, and Vegas has no idea what to do with Indy right now. So
all right.
I'm probably staying away from Indy for the time being. Raiders at Commanders. We've got this Raiders team coming off a butt kicking on behalf of Jim Harbaugh and Jesse Minter and Justin Herbert, taking on this Commanders team with none other than Marcus Mariota back in a starting job. I'm all set.
With the amount of backup quarterbacks playing this week, I tried to do my best to just stay away from all of because you just don't know what's going to happen, man. So I'm out on this game. I thought about the Commanders -3, but I don't know. Mariota also former backup for the Raiders as well, so a little bit of a revenge game for him.
He's been everywhere.
I'm out on this.
No
yeah,
play?
I'm out too.
Okay. Maybe the best game of Sunday's slate, Rams at Eagles. Eagles favored by 3.5. This was an epic playoff game last year. The team that was closest to knocking off the Eagles throughout their Super Bowl run in the postseason was this Rams team. One drive away from it happening in the cold, in Philly, a rematch where the Eagles are favored by 3.5. They haven't looked great so far this season. They're not going to blow any team out of the water. Jalen Hurts had 100 yards last week. Didn't matter. Still walked away with the win. They like to control the ball. Rams have an explosive offense. I'm very much looking forward to this game, but I'm not going to be betting on it here.
Yeah, I'm staying away.
Give me the Rams plus
Ooh.
3.5.
I love it.
Look, the Eagles, yes, they've been off to the 2-0 start, whatever. They haven't played an offense nor a defense as good as either unit that the Rams have, and that includes the Chiefs' defense. I truly do believe that. So I think that the Rams' offense is going to be able to score against Philly, and the Philly offense is not high-powered enough to, if the Rams are putting up points, to keep up offensively. So especially with how good that Rams defensive line has looked to start this season. So I think that the Rams, I don't know if they win straight up, but I think this is tight enough where they're within 3. If this was 2.5, I don't know if I would take it. I think that extra point really plays here. So I'm in on the Rams.
You know, Jalen Hurts has more tush-push attempts this year than passes over 5 yards.
It's pretty good.
That's crazy.
Good stuff.
That's Army-Navy stuff, you know?
Yeah.
That's good.
Falcons, 5.5-point favorites going up against this putrid Panthers team. Give me the Falcons here.
Ooh,
they were able
betting
to
on Atlanta.
They were able to do pretty good against this Minnesota team. I mean, if they were just able to find the end zone like 2 more times of their zillion red zone trips where they were settling for field goals, I think that game would have looked a lot worse. They were going up against a Brian Flores defense. He likes to, cook up some blitzes in that red zone. But this Carolina defense is not scary at all. 31st in DVOA, 29th in pass rush grade per PFF, 5.2 yards per play the other team, or yards per rush the other teams have against Carolina right now. And if they can't stop the run, I don't know how they're supposed to stop what Raheem Morris thinks is the best player in all of football. You guys see that? Raheem Morris called Bijan Robinson the best player in all of football.
Really?
I bet you his GM heard that and was like, shut up. Shut up. Why would you say that about our own player? Just jacking up the price of the guy. I'm taking Atlanta here. I've bet against Carolina the first 2 weeks of the season. It's worked out. I think Atlanta shows out here and all of a sudden looks like a team that could be knocking on the door of a wild card spot in the NFC after this week.
Falcons lost me so much money last year, so I've sort of been scared to bet them this year. I'm staying away from this one.
I thought about this one. This is a pretty good play, Ben. I did not end up doing it.
I'm just going to keep betting against Carolina until proven
Seems
otherwise.
fair.
That's fine.
Steelers, 1.5-point favorites on the road taking on the Patriots. Anybody playing? Going once.
No.
Going
Give
twice.
me the Steelers, baby.
Wow.
-1.5. Look, people are going to hate this one, and by people I mean Ben is going to hate this one. But last week, my only play that hit was the major fade the public play when everybody was in on the Cowboys to cover against the Giants, like 90-some%. That's the only reason why I did it. I got to have one fade the public play in me this week. The largest favored spread of the week public-wise this week is 86% of the public is in on Pats +1.5. No one's given the Steelers the edge here. They lost late in that game to Seattle last week, whereas New England kind of pulled that one out against a really bad Miami team. Steelers win by 2. I think I'll take it here.
The Patriots have a ton of injuries on defense, specifically the Christian Gonzalez thing. I don't think anybody knows when that guy's coming back. No. And that's one of the better corners in the NFL. So I don't hate it. I can't put U.S. dollars on Aaron Rodgers. But you should know this, Kyle, and it's too late, so you can't change your pick. But the Patriots have more sacks than anybody in the NFL through 2 weeks with 9. Aaron Rodgers has been, other than Bo Nix, the worst quarterback in the league under pressure so far this season.
Don't care. Give me the Steelers.
Nice.
Next game, Packers, 7.5-point favorites going up against the Cleveland Browns, whose defensive numbers on like DVOA and PFF and the sack totals and pressures has actually looked pretty good. And then you pull up their schedule, and the Ravens still put up 41 on them. So
correct.
I don't know. Maybe this Browns defense is a little bit better than people are giving it credit for, despite the yardage total.
Yeah,
where
Myles Garrett,
Myles Garrett and their offense is so bad that it usually sets the other team up with pretty good field position. But they did hold Derrick Henry to 2 yards per carry last week.
Because the Ravens scored 41 points.
I'm out.
Who needs Henry when you're throwing it all over the yard?
Well, regardless, 11 carries for 23 yards. It's not very efficient.
Yeah, Baltimore's like, all right, we can't run, we'll just throw it. And Cleveland was like, no, you can't do that. And then they scored 41 points.
Correct.
Yeah, I thought about maybe trying to convince myself to get in on Green Bay, but no.
I'm actually going to be at this game, believe it or not.
What?
You're going?
Yeah. My parents and then a couple that they hang out with from time to time. And I was like, you know what? I'm close enough. Let's go down.
This is
the
news.
Giants are playing on Sunday night. Lions play Monday, right? I don't need to be home for the 4 o'clock or 1 o'clock windows.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Maybe Sarah can hook you up with a Browns jersey.
No, I'm good.
Oh.
She has no pull.
Gross.
No pull.
Why would you openly put on a Browns jersey?
Yeah.
Because you're going to the Browns stadium? I don't know.
Don't worry.
You would throw on another team's jersey just because you're going to a game?
I was going to ask you guys about
just a
this. I was going to ask you guys about this. What do I wear?
Giants stuff.
Lions jersey.
Wear a Giants jersey.
He's like, dude, wear my Almond Rod jersey. Yeah,
I would
my
not
dad's
loan
wearing
you
a
my
Browns
Lions jersey.
hat. I'm like, what are we doing?
No.
I'm like, I'm probably going to wear something Giants.
I went to a Blue Jays game a couple of weeks back, and I just wore all Tigers gear. Tigers
Nice.
hat, Tigers jersey.
That's
the Tigers
funny.
weren't even playing.
I would
That's
probably
what you do.
I would probably just wear like something random, honestly.
No,
Yeah, just random clothing?
wear your team. Represent your. Be like, I want someone to be like, why is there a Giants fan at this game?
Yeah, but think about you in the flip side when you're at a Lions game and there's random dudes in Steelers jerseys there.
And guess
when
what? They
when they're
stick
not even
out.
playing.
They stick out. You want to stick out,
Yeah,
John,
but it
or you
still
want to fit
makes you
in?
mad.
I don't really care.
You better get in where you fit in, okay?
Oh,
All right. Easy,
Okay.
Easy over there.
okay, whatever that was.
I don't know what
I
that
don't
was.
know,
I
Kyle.
felt like I was cutting a WWE promo or something. Got ahead of myself. All right, sorry. Jets at Bucks. Bucks favored by 6.5.
Yeah, give me New York here.
Wow.
Kyle mentioned earlier during these picks about trying to stay away from as many backups because there's a lot of backup quarterbacks playing across the National Football League. You got to make money on one of them. Tyrod Taylor is a veteran. He's been in this spot. I think they could lose by at least less than 6.5.
Yeah.
This is a Buccaneers team that's played they're 2-0, but they played their two opponents very close. Baker's great. He might have a fourth quarter winning drive. Who knows? But I'm banking on the Jets staying with them and getting that 6.5. Let's go, Aaron Glenn. Get that first win as a head coach.
I kind of like this pick, John.
Thank you.
I was thinking about this because of all the backups I trust to at least keep their team in the game.
Yeah.
I think it is Tyrod Taylor, but I didn't pick it though.
I think he keeps them in them.
Broncos at Chargers. Chargers are 2.5-point favorites in SoFi.
I'm out.
I bet on the Broncos last week. Got really mad, so I will not do it again this week.
I'm a bet against them this week, fellas.
Ben's team, LA, loves himself some Harbaugh.
The worst passing grade of 40 quarterbacks that have thrown a pass this season. Bo Nix grades out dead last, despite the Broncos' offensive line ranking first in pass blocking grade. He's in the basement for yards per attempt. All the numbers suggest he's an even worse quarterback when he's under pressure. Bad processor, panics, runs the football when he's in trouble. It's a simple college football quarterback issue that you see all these guys have when they come into the league. The problem is it's coming up in year number 2 now that Sean Payton is kind of taking the handcuffs off of him a little bit and letting him try to operate this offense. It's not gone very well. The Chargers, it looked like they were playing with 12 guys against the Raiders on Monday night on defense. So despite the fact that Khalil Mack's not going to be in there, he was mostly a rotational player in the first place. I will take the Chargers here. I think Herbert's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL through 2 weeks. All right. Saints at Seahawks. Seahawks are favored by 7.5. Should the Seahawks be favored by 7.5 over anybody?
Probably not, but is it enough for me to take the Saints? Also, probably not. So I'm out on either side here.
Same.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next game, Cowboys at Bears. The Bears are favored.
Crazy.
Do I need to say anything? Do I even need to say the number? I'm taking the Cowboys here.
Yeah.
Plus 1.5. Look, you've got a coach who's throwing his quarterback under the bus for his practice habits already 2 weeks into the season. If this game's going to go into a shootout, which I think we all know the Cowboys are capable of putting up points. We saw that last week. We even saw it against Philly week 1. I don't think the Bears are capable of getting into a shootout like that. And even if they find themselves in that scenario in the fourth quarter, Caleb Williams, 2-minute drive, game on the line, 0 chance. I got the Cowboys here straight up.
Yeah, I mean, Vegas is already saying, and this is obviously because Cowboys fans will bet them up the wazoo, but they're right now -1 in terms of the line publicly. So if you want to get in on Dallas, you have to do it earlier in the week, something to keep a footnote of. Do it before we give you our spread picks. But, yeah, if Dallas is getting points in this game against a Chicago team that hasn't proven anything, I'm going to take Dallas, too, plus 1.5.
Chicago defense has been bad. Both of the NFC and Offensive Player of the Weeks have been just against the Bears. So
correct.
I think that keeps up.
Here we go. Yeah, I'm out on this game.
Okay. Sunday.
Can't have 2 triple ups, right?
What'd you say?
So we can't have 2 triple picks, right? That'd be
Maybe we will for the Monday nighter.
That'd be bad stuff. You're right.
Cardinals at 49ers. 49ers are favored by 2.5. Kind of up in the air who's going to be playing quarterback for them. So for that reason, I'm staying away.
For Kyler Murray, by the way, Michael Vick jersey with a dog.
Oh, that was
you
bad.
Can't make up stupid like that. What a moron. I couldn't believe that. And then he apologized, so there wasn't a deeper meaning or anything like that. Complete stupidity. What a great decision maker that guy is. For that reason, I'm staying away.
Yeah, for that exact reason. I am taking the Cardinals here, plus 2.5, though. Look, I said I was going to try to stay away from the backup quarterbacks. I think that whether or not it is a banged-up Brock Purdy or a healthy Mac Jones, look, the Niners struggled with the Saints last week. We got to remember that. They did not look good against this Saints team that hung around the entire game. It came down to basically the last second where the Saints had a chance to maybe do something. Cardinals haven't played great either, but I just think that this is one of those games where everyone is writing in the 49ers to start 3-0. I think the Cardinals sneaky start 3-0 here, so give me them.
You've been telling me that the Cardinals have no chance for like 3 days.
I know, and then I've changed my mind. This is how this stuff works, man.
It was the Kyler photo.
Yeah, the Kyler. You saw the Kyler photo.
No, I actually didn't hear about that until this morning, and the headline was just the headline of that. I saw that, and I was like, wait, what?
Such a moron.
Yeah, it truly is.
Oh,
this was
gosh.
one, Ben, I told you pre-show that I had a pick that I really hated. This was that pick. Yeah.
Wow.
Don't love it, but, sometimes this is how this stuff goes.
That's something. If that's not a vote of confidence, folks, I don't know what is.
Look, I just don't – I'm not in on Mac Jones like Ben is. And if Brock Purdy's playing, he's not 100% healthy. So, for those reasons, I'll take the Cardinals.
Wow.
The scary thing about that is if Purdy's playing and the spread goes up to, say, like 4.5, is he worth 2 points? Then all of a sudden you're just in a really tricky spot.
You think it goes up 2 whole points for injured Brock Purdy?
It went down 3 points last week. 3.5.
Against the Saints. This is a division game between two 2-0 teams.
All right, Chiefs, Sunday Night Football. Chiefs back in prime time because that's what everyone's wanting. Most explosive, fun team to watch in the NFL. Chiefs, 5.5 going up against the real most explosive team in the NFL. Russell Wilson, Malik Neighbors, and the New York Football Giants.
John, do it.
The Chiefs are favored by 5.5.
Do it.
Kyle, I'd rather you do it. You did it last week, and they actually covered. No, I'm staying away.
Yeah.
My guy, Don LaGreca, New York Radio, told people, come on, look in the mirror. You really think the Chiefs are going to start 0-3 in 2025? Come on. But I'm staying away. Can't bet against my team. We're not that desperate yet. Maybe we'll be desperate later in the season, but we're not that desperate yet where I'm going to pick against my boys,
Yeah, I'm not in on this, but I got to know how you were feeling after that Brandon Aubrey just
You know how I'm feeling.
60 banger. I mean, how did that
It's happened 4 times in the last decade. A guy hitting a 60-yard field goal to walk it off, or at least that was to tie it, but to
Right.
put the game either in the opposition's favor or to tie it in the final seconds.
Aubrey was the first quarterback of all time.
Kicker
of all time to send a team in overtime as the game expires and win it as time expires in overtime.
He's great.
I think he actually might be the GOAT kicker.
Well, we can't talk about the previous GOAT.
No, we can't.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Lions, Ravens, Monday night. Ravens are favored by 5.5 here. If you remember 2023, Week 5, Ravens shellacked the Lions 38-6. Is that going to be what happens this week, fellas, or do the Lions have a chance to keep it within a touchdown?
I think they do. I think they keep it within a touchdown. I know you're worried about Lamar running all over the place and the Lions not being able to keep up. I think the Lions offense tapped into, hey, we can be successful against Chicago. Not that you needed a get-right game in Week 2, but it kind of felt that way. I think they stay within a score. I'm fine with that. That's what I'm going to pick. I know it's in Baltimore. I get it, but a Monday night game, I think they stay within a score. So I'm going to pick Detroit plus the 5.5.
You know, I live my life with a lot of joy, and I don't fear a lot of things.
Oh.
But one thing that I truly do fear is Lamar Jackson against my football team. We've seen this happen twice. I went to the Lions-Ravens game. So was Ben the first time around. We've talked about this. Lamar killed. And, I mean, think about what we just talked about. They held Derrick Henry to 2 yards per rush, and they put up 40 points against the Browns. Like, what are they going to do to this Lions team? I think the Lions are going to be able to score on them because the Bills put up 40 against them in Week 1. Like, I don't think that's going to be an issue. The issue is, are they going to be able to generate any stops against Lamar? I hate to do it, but I'm taking the Ravens to cover the spread here. Lamar is just going to he is going to torch. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
We got the Lions here. Wow. I think they can keep it close.
Hey, it's the first time we haven't all been in on the same pick here for the Lions game.
What's your conviction, Ben?
Yeah,
you're just a Lions fan?
I think they can keep it close.
Save
That's
it for
all you
tomorrow.
have.
Save it for tomorrow.
He's
Save it for
teasing,
Monday.
folks.
Save it for Monday, really.
Oh.
Got a lot of time to talk about the Lions. I don't need to spill the tea yet, but I think there's a few favorable things that the Lions have going in their direction. Now, all that said, Lamar could just torch the Lions in general, but that pass protection for him hasn't been all that great to start out the season.
Yeah. John Leduc in the chat says you should wear an NFL logo T-shirt like Rob Lowe.
to the game on Sunday?
To the game, yeah.
It's a good idea.
Just
That's
NFL
a good idea.
gear head to toe. Yeah, exactly.
What's more likely to get me on TV? That Giants stuff?
Shirtless. Shirtless gets you on TV.
That might happen. Last time I went to Cleveland, New York last year, it was so hot, like 80 degrees. The seats were right in the sun. Like at halftime, I went to get a drink, which you usually do, but I just spent extra time, missed the first possession coming out of the second half because I was like, I'm not sitting in those seats. It was like sitting on the surface of the sun.
Doesn't love ball like that.
No, well, especially because it was Giants Browns. It's one of the worst. I've only gone to 2 NFL games in my life. This will be the third. That one was just brutal football, brutal.
College game,
but it was the Malik Neighbors. No, NFL game. Oh, it was a college game, yes. But that was the Malik Neighbors breakout game. Don't you forget it. And a Daniel Jones victory in Cleveland.
I won't forget it.
All right, don't.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be forgetting it too. I think the last NFL game I went to was Justin Tucker walking off the Lions. I don't think I've been to a game since then.
There's our
they
guy.
got way too expensive.
There's our guy. Where's he now?
Jail.
Yeah, let's really refrain from using our there, John. Not our guy. That maybe could be yours.
Yeah, he can be your guy. He's
Yeah,
not any of
that's-
our guys. I don't know what you're
broad
on
use
over
of
there.
that word.
Well, I mentioned, our because I referenced him earlier.
No, yeah, we got it.
No.
We
Yeah,
got
you
it.
can still not say it, though.
989-837-6125. We'll do our two traditions to close out every show when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar.
TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Two traditions to close out every show. The first of those, we got to bounce back after yesterday. It is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Jack Flaherty did not have 6 strikeouts yesterday. Not even close. Only
No.
had 3.
He had 4.
Oh, he did end up with 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, either way, didn't hit. What's our record on the week now?
You're 2-1 on the week so far, so you're still definitely in play here. You're up on the week as well, 0.75 units up on the week. Still up in the month of September as well, so not too bad of a hit there. 19.39 units down all time, though.
Didn't need to bring that
Yep.
up.
What do you got today, Ben?
I think we get a very angry version of Tarek Skubal today.
Whoa.
Tarek Skubal, usually it takes him walking a batter or hitting a batter or a call not going his way for us to get the angry version of Tarek Skubal where he is just mad on the mound, beaming fastballs towards the middle of the plate, yelling at the other team, screaming at the fans. I think we get that version of him right in the first inning today based on the fact that he only threw 45 pitches his last outing, avoided injury. I think that pissed him off. I think everything just kind of makes this guy mad. It's not that hard to get him mad, and I love it when that actually is how he is pitching. He only pitched 4 innings last outing. He got pulled from the game. He's on an extra day of rest. Yeah, there's the little bit of concern that maybe, just maybe, he's still dealing with that, but I don't think they'd throw him out there if they didn't feel confident he was 100% healthy. So I think Tarek Skubal comes out and throws for 8 strikeouts today. You get plus 110 odds on it. He's gotten double-digit strikeouts the last 2 times that he's played Cleveland this year. So I think he keeps that streak going and makes this Guardians team look like the poor offense that they are, and comes out just guns a-blazing, attacking the strike zone today. So I've got Skubal 8 Ks.
Yeah, we've talked about kind of how the Tigers lack an edge against their rival in Cleveland, like it really feels like they should have. Tarek Skubal does not. Like he clearly despises this team after what they did to him in the playoffs last year, that David Fry grand slam. He brings it up all the time.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I've blocked it out of my memory.
Exactly. He brings it up all the time, so he's very aware of his hatred and despise for this team. I agree with you. I still think it's a tough spot for Skubal today. Like, I won't disagree on that just because he is coming off of a little bit of an injury and the Tigers have so much extra pressure today. Nonetheless, this is a major tail. 8 Ks and you get plus odds on it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not tail that?
Earlier this year, they lost 3 straight to Cleveland, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then what happened?
Yeah.
Threw for 13 Ks and had a complete game.
A Maddox, yeah.
Maddox shutout. Not a shutout. Yeah, it was a shutout. So I'm going with Tarek Skubal, 8+ Ks. You're tailing this, you said?
Yeah. Yep, I will.
Okay, there it is. That is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, our other tradition's guessing what Colin's going to open with. He takes over at noon. Yesterday was J.J. McCarthy again.
That's right. I was struggling to remember what it was, but yeah, it was a J.J. McCarthy
He
lead.
loves J.J. McCarthy. He's not even playing this week.
The guy's
he's
out
talking
for a
about
month.
J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, that's an odd one there.
I thought he was going to actually suggest. It sounded like he was going down the rabbit hole of did they bench him without actually saying they benched him. Like, basically saying, oh, he's quote-unquote hurt, and we need better quarterback play.
Right.
That's what it sounded like he was going to do. He never said it, because I've seen that rumor going around, which I think is kind of ludicrous. That's not the direction he took.
Hey, at the end of the day, J.J. McCarthy's only quarter time where he looked good was fourth quarter against the Chicago Bears.
That's right. He'll figure it out.
Yeah, he will. I agree. You're up first today.
Oh.
Episode 77, 16-13 is the score. Ben leads.
Well, with Thursday Night Football tonight, there was a chance I think he goes to like the, hey, Mike McDaniel TikTok buddy. Might be time to get out of town. Could be a Josh Allen thing. I also think there's a chance he just doesn't go that direction at all. I think it's a Kansas City Chiefs thing.
Ooh.
I'm just going to go Kansas City Chiefs, whether or not they can survive a 0-2 start. So I'll go big picture, Kansas City Chiefs, start 0-2. Not worried about him is my take. He's not worried. They'll be in the postseason. They'll figure it out. They've got the best quarterback in the league. They've got one of the best coaches in the league, although yesterday he called Jim Harbaugh the best football coach of all time, which I thought was a little crazy.
Okay.
I think it's a Kansas City Chiefs thing, that they're going to be just all right.
Okay. I'm trying to think, too, because I really don't think it's a Miami or Buffalo thing. I think that gets saved for tomorrow. I don't think he's going to talk about this transfer portal thing that got approved yesterday by the NCAA. But I think that, maybe there's a grand scheme transfer portal thing.
Could be.
I think I'm going to go in the direction of the small news that we got that Brock Purdy may return. Because he's done some Brock Purdy stuff.
He loves Brock Purdy.
He
loves talking about Brock
I don't know
Purdy.
if he actually loves Brock Purdy, but he likes talking about him. And so I think he does a 49ers lead today. Like, whether it's maybe the Niners are better off starting Mac Jones rather than Purdy type conversation, or just something along the line of the Niners with Brock Purdy. I think that is my choice for today. It's kind of a random day today. These are the ones that if you can get a point on days like today, it really goes a long way to the scoreboard. Because there is not an obvious choice, to say the least.
No. It's funny that we both said football season was going to be a lot easier come Guessing Colin's Open. I don't think it actually has been.
It's easier on, tomorrow and on Monday and Tuesday. Friday, Monday, Tuesday are easy picks. Whereas Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursdays are, I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't really know either. All right, I appreciate everyone listening today. That's basically going to do it for us. We got Thursday Night Football tonight. We've got Tigers in action at 1 o'clock. Are you deeming this a must-win? Kind of deem the series a must-win, and they've already lost the series.
Yeah, exactly. That's more how I feel about it.
If they lose a Tarek Skubal start today, I'm actually going to be a little. I don't think I've been mad at any point this week. Just a little disappointed and I think I need to reel my expectations in. It's been a tough watch. If they lose a Tarek Skubal start today because the offense doesn't show up, I think I'll legitimately be pissed off for a while before their series starts tomorrow against Atlanta. Sending someone to the game on Sunday, so thanks for all of our listeners. That's Woo-hoo! Big Win Wednesday. Yeah, big win. Thanks, Kyle. Next Wednesday, we'll be giving away something else as well, so should be fun. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube yet, it only takes a second. We'd appreciate it here at 100.9 The Mitt. Goes a long way on us, for us, on behalf of everyone here at the station.
15
Instagram,
more to hit the goal. It's a tough ask, but
we can do it. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. We're on it all. Just search 100.9 The Mitt. Go get exclusive video content up there. Always a good time on the stations. I love looking at the comments and seeing what people have to say about our takes. That's always
you love looking at the comments.
So that's always a fun rabbit hole to go down. Let's see what people said about this opinion, and then you end up just being sad. So you have to learn to block the haters. All right, we'll be back tomorrow 9 o'clock. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. That was the Ben Bosscher Show live right here on 100.9 The Mitt from the Blaze Electric Studio. Talk to you guys tomorrow 9 o'clock. Don't forget.
The Ben Bosscher